Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-813-8757 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-813-8757. That's 800-813-8757. What do you have to lose? Call 800-813-8757. Again, 800-813-8757.
The NASCAR season will come to an end in Phoenix, but the championship weekend will last forever.
The greatest are the ones that seize the moment.
4 championship races in 3 days, all set against the stunning backdrop of the Desert Mountains. Night racing, a doubleheader, and a Cup Series champion crowned on Sunday. It's a weekend you'll wish would never end. The NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, November 4th through the 6th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
At Progressive, you can get 24/7 protection, even if you break the space-time continuum.
We did it. We time traveled to yesterday.
Wait, Progressive covers us 24/7, but we just created an 8-day week, and it's 24/7 coverage, not 24/8. We gotta go back.
Are you joking right now?
Shh, I'm calling them. Hi, I have a question about time travel.
Progressive offers more than a great price when you bundle home and auto. We offer round-the-clock protection, which literally means anytime. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers, and subject to policy terms. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Wednesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And, well, we have a lot of stuff that we have to talk about today. So much is going on, so much stuff that makes no sense, makes perfect sense. I honestly was having a hard time figuring out where to start, but I'll start here.
Okay.
We have a choice to make. Every now and then you are faced with a choice.
Okay.
And sometimes it's life and death. Sometimes it's trivial.
Mm-hmm.
This one seems like it might be somewhere in between.
Seems like we need some sort of music to make this choice. Some sort
Well,
of.
if you want, I don't need the music.
Some sort of, sort of choosy mothers choose Jeff music or something.
Okay. If it makes you feel better,
Some
go
sort
ahead
of,
and
background music as we make our
play
choice.
There's some good, thoughtful music here for this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There are 3 choices.
Three choices.
We have to choose one.
One.
That first choice is not obvious. Second choice, not great.
All right.
Third choice, depending on your experience. Well, I don't know. Here we go. Today,
I have a question.
Yes.
Does it involve us having time off, paid time off?
Unfortunately, no. No,
Okay.
not us.
All right,
No.
I'm ready.
Probably not anybody. All right. So today,
I have another question.
Okay. Yeah, Randy, go ahead.
Does it involve free drink and food?
No, probably not anything
No.
you'd want.
Okay. All right.
I'm just maybe. I don't think so.
All right.
So today is either going to be observed as National Be Nice Day, National Kale Day, or World Teachers Day. So National Be Nice Day on this show is right out. You can just forget that. National Kale Day.
No, but hell no.
No.
Yeah, forget it. Nobody likes kale. They even tested babies, and the babies were like, they couldn't talk. They're like, no. Yeah, so
pretty sure that's the way it
World
went down.
Teachers Day. I have had both good and bad teachers.
Well, however,
yes,
I think the most noble thing we could do is World Teacher Day. Teachers are the spinal cord of humanity. We would not know anything without teachers.
Yeah, but Arizona is like 48th in education, so I don't know if they deserve a Teacher's Day in this state right here.
But we're
right
talking
now.
about World Teacher Day.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of dumbasses out there too.
I don't know. I know we have like a teacher shortage. Isn't that why Arizona's struggling?
No, it's always been that way that we've had crap teachers. Now I know that there are some teachers maybe listening, and oh no, I'm not talking about you for sure. I'm sure you're an amazing teacher.
I had a lot of great teachers, and I wouldn't be anything as a person without those teachers in my life. So
you could also phrase that in, if I'd had better teachers, maybe I wouldn't be in this hellhole.
Well, I definitely had some bad teachers, so I mean, I can blame them specifically.
Could say that, I guess.
But the teachers that were great, the teachers that I know for a fact spent money out of their own pocket to get materials for the classroom because they didn't have enough in their budget for school. Those people, heroes to me.
Yeah, there are a lot of good teachers out there. There are a lot of good teachers out there.
Yeah.
There are a lot of mediocre teachers. My son is a teacher who's working on his master's and then doctorate to become a college professor. Because I told him that's where the money is. They have to buy your book. So, but you know, probably when we have the choices of National Be Nice Day and National Kale Day, World Teachers Days, it's a no-brainer.
Isn't
I mean, you can't thank a public school teacher for that sort of thinking. That's just common sense. But still, it's a no-brainer.
Isn't the intern from the main event? She's a teacher, right?
Yes, she is. I would imagine she's one of the good ones.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe she's horrible. I mean here's the thing. You might be a horrible teacher and you don't even know it. You might think I'm doing a great job, and other people are like, "Oh my God, that's bad."
I know a handful of teachers. I would vote for the national teacher, world teacher.
We get told we suck. The minute we suck in our profession, teachers, it's like towards the end of the year. Although I will say, I think that parents are worse than teachers. I think that if we have a bad education here in the state of Arizona, it's going to be because parents are nimrods. My son, shut up, do your homework. How about that? Shut up and do your homework. And I'm sorry, maybe your kid is stupid. You ever think of that? Get out of my office. So, I guess maybe I'm being too hard on teachers. I think we got to blame the parents a little bit more.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I got to tell you, I'm going World Teacher Day.
I am too.
Yeah.
I think we already chose that one just because National Be Nice Day and National Kale Day is all we've got. So it's just going to be Teacher's Day.
And I'm okay with being nice, but
we should play Hot for
Kale.
Teacher.
Oh.
Hot for Teacher?
Yeah, we should play that. Not too much because I don't want the video to be muted later on. Yeah, the morning show gets muted all the time. And
see if I can bring that
nobody's
up.
Complaining. Let's see. Let's go to the text line, 888-368-1580. Baker's Cocky Hen says, even a bad teacher teaches you how not to act right. I hear ASU recruits teachers pretty well. And by the way, Kale, no. King of Kitten says, hey, Lakers and Suns tonight at T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. Tickets are starting at $125 for preseason sort of weirdness. No, not a chance.
That is for people in Vegas who don't have basketball.
And we'll let everybody else do the over or underreacting the day after. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's preseason. It doesn't matter.
It matters even less in basketball.
Yeah, they're just getting in shape. That's it. There's nothing to be learned here. Jagdog says, happy Whiskey Wednesday, fellas. Randy, gonna get a beer and punch me in the face. I need some help waking up.
Punch you in the face? No,
Do we have something for that?
No, I don't have a punch in the face sound.
Okay, I got a different way. Dude, she's pregnant.
Oh, that is a punch in the face.
Isn't that a punch in the face?
That's kind of a punch everywhere, actually.
Stockton Slaps says, happy hump day, you guys. I grew up just 10 minutes from where Aaron Judge grew up. It's pretty cool knowing I live so close to a guy that's causing you guys so much sports agony. Here's the thing, Stockton Slap. You must have grown up 10 minutes from where he was, but evidently you drank the different water because I didn't see you hit no damn home run. I didn't see you hit no damn home run. I'm sorry, Stockton Slap. I like you. I don't know why. I'm just lashing out at everybody today. I don't know why. I never had a hot teacher. Did you guys ever have hot teachers?
No.
Yes.
Good for you. Yeah. We just didn't. I don't know what it was. It just was all old people.
She had an old person name. Her name was Miss Kreutzer. She was like 25. She was very hot.
Yeah. The youngest teacher I had. No. And I made her cry.
Oh no.
Not on purpose. See, I was the worst kind of kid. I was a smart kid that was mischievous and smart alecky. So they couldn't be like, you'll never amount to anything. And then, okay, well, he's got an A, damn it. But I don't know. You probably are too young to remember the movie with Mark Harmon called Summer School. And so we pulled a bit from that where we all started making a weird humming noise. Like, and like a bunch of people did it at the same time. So she's looking around going, what is going on here? And I was pretty good at making those sorts of noises. And she, later on found out, and she's like, I went home last night and I cried because of you, Jeffrey. I'm like, for the win.
Oh no.
I was just a dumb kid. Yeah. She was a student teacher, meaning that she was learning to be a teacher while the real teacher sat on the other side of the room just shaking his head most of the time. So yeah, we pulled that off. Can you believe that actually worked?
Wow.
Anyways, I'm a bad person. Boomer Sooner says, good day, gents. Jeffrey, I don't like the Yankees any more than you, but here's an interesting fact. Last night, the Yankees record was 99-62. Judge's number is 99, and now he has hit 62 homers. Yes, he has. And that sucks, but it is the way it is. He reportedly so far has not tested positive for any sort of steroids yet. And so the guy who caught it, who caught the ball, is now sitting there holding it. And the first thing you're thinking is, well, it may be worth nothing if he hits another one. You've got 62 in your hand. What if he hits 63? And
it'll be worth something. It's the record-breaking home run.
Nah, it's not worth as much as the actual record ball.
How much did Tom Brady's final touchdown pass last year go for?
Yeah, that went for over $500,000. Now, here's what happened is they absolved the guy of that debt when he unretired. And so then the person who was holding the ball, who had thought they sold it for $500,000 plus, and then turned around and put it up for auction. And it recently came back at over $129,000.
And still,
so your retirement, unretirement ball is $129,000.
That's what I mean. So number 62, the record breaker, you think that's not going to go for about $500,000 or $1 million?
No. I think it will. I don't think so. I mean, it's got to be the ball.
Who cares about 63? That's the record setter. 62
because that's the big number that everyone else has to break.
62,
that's the record ball.
The record ball was 62.
No, the new record is if he hits another one is 63. That's would be the ball.
Yeah, but
that's the record.
I see what Randy's saying, but the record breaker is still going to have a ton of value.
Not as much as the record ball,
right? But it's going to be a lot though.
Maybe not, but I still
steroid-free record ball.
You're absolutely right. And by the way, Barry Bonds is not the home run champion. Sorry.
Yeah, so, I agree. There was a bunch of baseball writers trying to point out the Barry Bonds thing last night, and I had to get off Twitter. It was very
I don't read it.
Here's what we need to do. The next Yankees game, I want to send the opposing fans a bunch of laser pointers. And just once he's up the bat, I want him painted with laser. He'll never hit another home run.
I think I read on Twitter, and I don't know where my phone is right now. I think I read on Twitter that he's actually benched today. And if I'm not mistaken,
why would you do that?
Because he broke the record.
You could push the record farther away from the next guy. Put it to 64. Why would you sit out this game? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Go out there and hit another home run. I mean, you think Maris wouldn't have liked to have hit enough home runs to keep this guy from getting his record?
Yankees are currently losing to the Rangers.
Well, gee, I wonder why.
4-2, and trying to go to the box score to see if he is in the lineup today.
Are these chuckleheads out of the playoffs or something?
No, they've secured the playoff. They did that before. Well, yes, he is not in the lineup today.
They're saving him for the playoffs. Then. Is that
he is not in the lineup.
Their nightmare scenario would be Aaron Judge goes out there to push the record further, gets hit in the wrist by a pitch,
right?
And now you don't have him for the playoffs.
Right.
So if he hits more home runs in the playoffs or the World Series, God forbid, they don't count towards the total.
No, because this is regular season.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. So all right, so he's hit the ball. Some dude caught the ball. Another dude fell onto the warning track trying to catch the ball.
Yeah, I saw that. He jumped out of the stands. And this, by the way, I believe is the final game of the regular season for the Yankees.
Yeah. So this guy, by the way, if you do that, you are escorted away. And that guy, he didn't fall over the railing as much as
jumped.
He jumped.
Yeah.
And he was thinking, that ball's going to go down there. I'm going to get it. You realize if that had happened, if he ran over and grabbed it, security was going to take it away from him. He wasn't going to get to keep it.
Well, I'd like to see him try.
Yeah, you see this guy running around on the field.
Yeah,
it was just that was not too bright. He could have broken some ankles or something on that. But the guy who did catch the ball turns out to be married to some bachelorette. I never watched The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, but his wife was once on The Bachelor. I don't mean that euphemistically. I mean she was on the show.
She probably was.
And I guess. So this guy, I don't remember his name, Humans, his name is Humans. He actually was able to catch the ball. And so now his wife's very happy because the thinking is that ball is immediately worth $3 million. And I think that's the number right now. Don't you think? Is that $3 million or do you think it's more?
I would say it's more.
The way things are going lately, I wouldn't be surprised because people are stupid. It's not worth $3 million. Where's Roger Maris's record-breaking ball?
I believe it's in Cooperstown. I believe it's in Cooperstown.
Oh, he probably just gave it to him. Here you go, buddy. So you know what I'm saying? It's just things have gotten weird with memorabilia, and not for the best. When you're selling stuff that you shouldn't sell for that much, it just ruins the rest of it for everybody.
1961 to 2022 before the record was broken. I mean, consider that. Consider the amount of time between when the Babe first set the record and then when it was broken in 61, and then it was again reset and broken here in 2022. Think about that for a second.
Straight Striper says, Roger Maris record, Jeffrey's stories about being a smart aleck, a fast running back, dating all the hot girls. Man, 1961 sounds great. I wasn't born yet, dude. I wasn't even there. All right, so this guy's got the ball, and they say, "Well, what are you going to do here?" He's like, "Good question." The good question is not that. The good question is, well, how much of money is he going to get? That's the question. So, what do you guys think?
I think $5 million. $5 million.
Think $5?
Yeah, it's a record-breaking ball.
We need to hear from the Berg. He knows memorabilia. He's a collector, and he's part of that whole culture there. I'd really like. He hates the Yankees though too, so maybe his answer may not be, really somebody else who's a collector.
Right.
Yeah.
Against the but I tend to agree with Randy that when you look at the record and how it's gone from Babe Ruth to Roger Maris and now to Aaron Judge, the amount of time it's taken for the record to even be this, I think that ball's going to go for a lot of money.
I don't think time is relevant to that. It's just about the This is the record-breaking ball. Is Aaron Judge a popular, famous baseball player that people love? They loved Roger Maris. Does Aaron Judge have that much clout? There's a lot of factors involved.
He's
here.
a New York Yankee, and they're an incredibly popular team. Most fans of baseball are fans of theirs. Look, I know you hate it, but that's a fact. And Aaron Judge is a completely likable guy. I would love Aaron Judge to be a detestable human being. It would be so much easier. But no, he's a completely good and likable person. So I think that's going to all contribute to Aaron Judge and his record-breaking baseball going for a lot of money.
Let me tell you something. The fact that he is not on steroids, likable guy, I hate him more now. Because I needed to hate him for good reasons. Now I have to hate him for bad reasons, which makes me hate him even more.
Oh, boy.
I can understand that, though.
Oh, boy.
I thought I didn't think I made any sense. So I'm surprised you understand that. Big George says, hey, guys, happy Wednesday. I think you guys should learn a lot from National Be Nice Day. It would probably be something that would lower. Shut up, George.
Really,
I don't need my stress levels lowered.
Really, Big George? This from the guy who wants to fire everybody when the team has a bad night, and then you come back and they're praising them and want to put them in the Hall of Fame when they're having a winning streak? Big George, really?
If you were a U-boat captain, you'd be out of torpedoes all the time. Fire, 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 fire. Stockton Slap says, I actually found this. Oh, it's a 1982 Olivia Newton-John t-shirt. Sells for $150. That is ridiculous that shirt would sell for $150. It was a tour shirt. Holy moly. And Stockton Slap goes, I really wish you would have chose National Be Kind Day. Why don't you shut your face? Watermelon says, question for you guys. Do you keep the ball and lease it to a museum for display, or do you sell it for a one-time payment? That, I guess, Randy, depends on how much do you think they would lease the ball for? They, all right, I'll give you this for X amount of money a month. It depends.
Well, I mean, somebody wise once told me mailbox money is good. And so even if you're getting $1,000 a month lease to have that ball on display in the Hall of Fame, that's $1,000 you're making that you didn't normally have. Then it still belongs. But then it still belongs to you. And the older that it gets, it gets more and more valuable.
That's smart.
So you're making money here, and in the ultimate payoff, you're going to make a whole lot more. I say if you want to lease it to the Hall of Fame and they're willing to pay you, $1,000 or $2,000 a month on display there, something along those lines. Listen, that's good money. That's free money. It's $12,000 a year that you didn't have before.
Or $10,000 a month,
Well, I don't know that they're.
If you don't get a good amount of money, JG Whitworth is me sitting there tapping his toe, going, "Come on, man, come on, man,
it's your
come
money.
on, man." All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we have other things that we need to discuss before we jump into some football. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brian Musburger's action update for Arizona's new home for sports, The Fanatic. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Looking at some top 25 college football matchups on Saturday, number 19 Kansas hosting TCU. The Horned Frogs, a 7-point road favorite, minus 275. Kansas plus 220, over under 68.5. Number 25 LSU hosting number 8 Tennessee. The Volunteers, a 3-point road favorite, minus 150. The Tigers at home in Baton Rouge plus 125, over under 64.5. One other top 25 game in the Pac-12, number 11 Utah taking on number 18 UCLA. Utah, 3.5-point favorite, over under 64.5. Red hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwiners.com. Save 75% when you use the promo code ACTION75. Experts.winnersandwiners.com. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
The best part about taking ZQuil Pure Z's Sleep Plus Next Day Energy at night is actually the next morning. I wake up alert with none of the grogginess from taking too much melatonin. Pure Z Sleep Plus Next Day Energy is a bilayer tablet with immediate release melatonin and extended release B vitamins to help me fall asleep naturally and wake refreshed. It's my secret weapon for a great night's sleep and a great morning.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom.
Can't beat that.
ZQuil Pure Z's gummies. Sleep better, wake your best.
Arizonans are facing big challenges these days. rising costs at the grocery store, the gas pump, and the pharmacy. That's why Mark Kelly is doing whatever it takes in Washington to bring down costs, even when it means standing up to his own party. The son of 2 police officers, Mark grew up in a house where money was tight. He knows what it means for Arizonans when everyday items cost more. Thanks to Mark Kelly's work, Medicare will finally negotiate down prescription drug prices. Less money spent at the pharmacy means more money stays in your pocket. Mark is leading the effort to cut red tape for truckers and ease supply chain issues. And he's pushing for more domestic oil production to bring down gas prices. Because Mark knows that for a lot of people, every little bit counts right now. Senator Mark Kelly, looking out for Arizona, fighting for us.
I'm Mark Kelly, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mark Kelly for Senate.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Thursday Night Football lives on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. This week, the Colts are 3.5-point underdogs as they travel to the Mile High City. The Broncos brought in Russ Wilson with the expectation of leading them to the promised land. But so far, the results have been mixed. Colts at Broncos, an epic AFC showdown. Thursday Night Football live on your home for primetime NFL games. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Today, the Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and Thursday Night Football. I still don't know who to pick. Colts at Broncos. No Jonathan Taylor Thomas for the Colts. Matt Ryan can't hold the ball. Broncos ain't been worth snot, even if they've got Russell Wilson. I honestly can't decide where to go with this pick.
Go with what you know, not who you know. And what I mean by that is I think you should take the Colts. I'm going to take the Colts because
Why?
I think the Colts have played together, and Russ Wilson is just not grasping this. What's his name? Nate Heckler or whatever is not calling a good football game.
Nathaniel Hackett.
And not only that, Danger Russ Wilson's got a sore shoulder, and it could affect his passing ability.
That'd be the only reason at this moment I would maybe take the Colts, because here's the thing. The Colts have had Matt Ryan for the same amount of time that the Broncos have had Russell Wilson. You know what I'm saying? So that I don't think that his lack of time in the system hurts or hinders. Not having Jonathan Taylor, well, that's really that's a kick in the crotch to the Colts offense right now. And that just means Matt Ryan's going to have to do more with the ball. Well, the more he does, the more he fumbles. So that does not bode well. So if Russ Wilson plays, I'm taking the Broncos. If he doesn't play, then okay, maybe I'll take the Colts.
And
and even then, I won't feel good about it.
The Broncos did lose a very good running back for them as well, and Javonte Williams, he's down. And then, of course, some bad news for the Colts defense, and that Darius Leonard is also not playing.
Yeah, we're used to that.
Just a lot of injuries.
We're used to that, and they played well without him. So I'm not too bent out of shape on that. It was nice having him for those 2 plays.
I think you are bent out of shape. That's what I think. What do you think about that?
I'm perfectly straight right here. Boom, straight.
I think you're bent out of shape. I think you're.
Yeah, I am Newt Gingrich straight. Bam, right here.
Ooh,
That's how straight I am. I am.
I don't think you are.
I mean, he's a horrible human being. I'm just saying. All right. So Colts and Broncos should be actually a good game because it's two bad teams playing each other. So that still makes it, worth watching, worth listening. And we get the time off free of charge. So, hooray, Thursday Night Football. So we were talking about the 62, right? We're talking about the guy who caught it.
62 home runs, one season. Yeah.
Can I just say, I just got this text from Jagdog. He says the guy that caught the ball, he's a CEO of a $3 billion company, and he gets a $3 million ball. I know he works in the financial world. I was not aware that he was a CEO of a giant company, but that doesn't mean he gets the $3 billion. Just because he works there. I'm sure he gets a very nice income.
Yeah.
And, who else can afford the tickets to go to these games to get placed exactly where he thought he needed to be? I'm sure that there is a lot of people who are fighting over those. So, yeah, it stinks, but not surprised. Rich guy got the good tickets and got the ball. So,
it's not like this was preordained. It just happened. So,
yeah, it could have gone to anybody, but it went to him for some strange reason. Well, whatever the case, what a liar, though. They're like, hey, what are you going to do there with that ball? He says, good question. I haven't thought about it. You are so full of crap. You know exactly what you're doing with that thing. Unless he is one of those things where he's getting $10 million a year. He's got this $3 million ball, and he's thinking just like, I can't remember who it was earlier. I think it was Watermelon. It's like, all right, so I got this ball. It's worth $3 million. Status symbol, put it on the mantle. People come over. We have something to talk about later on. That's my insurance policy. You know what I mean? I'll sell that when I got it.
Well, that's one of two options. Your two options are cash it in and just get the $3 million right now and just have that just to play with, or keep it. Those are two options.
You have to understand rich people, though. Rich people, they remember we were sitting there watching the Manning cast, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson had a giant T-Rex skull behind him. We're like, there's no way that's real. And there's like, holy crap, it's kind of real.
And he had some of his own personal tequila chilling right there next to him.
They flaunt, Keon.
I get that. I think that makes sense. I'm just saying, if you have two options, you can't stand there and say, I have no idea what I'm going to do with the ball. Right. You have some idea.
Well, there's a third option. You go on a YouTube channel and you say, somebody needs to bid this thing up over 3 million, or I'm going to put it across the bandsaw. And you have the bandsaw running and the ball like this going, going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then see the bids go up and up and up. Oh my God, don't do it. So that could be fun. That's rich people fun. And then go, just kidding. And I'm not selling either. Good night. Click. Oh man, I'd be fun if I were really rich.
What you could do is just use any baseball and then just go, just kidding. This is the actual ball. Actually split a ball, just not the home run ball.
No, I'd split the actual one. Tax write-off. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. Don't care. I'm rich. Big George says he's trying to be nice today in honor of National Be Nice Day. He says, I don't think anybody should be fired today. I will save that for tomorrow.
I'm wearing my Diamondbacks hats and it's the black hat because this miserable season finally comes to an end.
Hey, they got 73 wins. We'll see if they get 74. That's
still black.
That's the way a fan talks.
Black hat.
Yes, I see. You should have a black armband too, because they seem dead.
I should have dressed in all black. I should have worn the black jersey. I should have dressed in all black today.
You didn't have to. You just need. I don't want to go down that road.
In the
really,
infamous words,
I don't want to go down that road.
From the great Tombstone movie. Well, bye.
You're not doing it right. What you have to do is, you realize the season's going to be terrible, and then you just black out and don't remember anything about the season the entire year. I don't know what the Nationals have done for the last 3 months. I have no idea.
Yeah, I appreciate that. From one losing team fan to another losing team fan. I get it. I understand. But mine today, well, bye.
You have to have COVID fog, and then you can appreciate them.
Is that what it
next
is?
Year. Yeah. There was another home run caught yesterday, and this was actually probably cooler. Francisco Lindor hit himself a home run. And, there's some dude went diving for it, but was not able to get it because do you know how hard it is to get a ball once a dog wants it?
Oh, yeah.
That is who caught.
Yeah, there you go.
Francis
He's a
Lindor's
good
ball.
boy.
Looks like my old dog a little bit
He's
there.
a good boy.
And it was funny because there was another dog sitting next to me. I guess it was Bark in the Park night. And so there were other dogs there. And dog sitting there chewing on it. I think it would have been awesome if that had been old Aaron Judge's ball. And there was another dog there.
Character.
And so the other dog was kind of looking up at this dog, and the dog's like, nope. It was really kind of nice. I love that the dog got it and not the guy who was actually diving over trying to almost take it away from the dog like he was some kid. You can't get a ball away from a dog like that.
Yeah, look, go to the damn team store on the way out of the stadium and get yourself a $5 baseball.
It's not the same.
Really?
It's not the same. But grown-ups shouldn't be trying to catch balls.
Well,
dogs and kids,
ever since grown-ups have gotten balls and they've got signed and then they sell them and they're able to make a living, the kids no longer get baseballs. The kids no longer get When I was growing up, if you got a foul ball from a ball game, you used it to play catch with your friends the next day. It was cool to look at, but you went to the park and you played baseball with it. That's the way it should be. Not this multi-billion-dollar industry of selling paraphernalia, on the eBay for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Give me a break.
I agree, but here's the thing. Back in the day, what was it? We said, was it Willie Mays that gave that glove to some kid?
Glove away, yeah.
In Little League. Well, back then, they didn't have the whole memorabilia thing that they have now, like it is. And so now, that's life-changing money if you catch that ball. You know what I'm saying? So,
for the CEO of a $3 billion company, that's life-changing.
Well, I'm just saying in general, but
Pocket
for a
change
Francisco Lindor ball, being in the mouth of that dog is probably about right.
Yeah,
it doesn't hurt it one way or another. It's a little slobber.
I love it.
Tooth marks, no big deal. So all right, we have before the show we were talking about the term F around and find out. Mm-hmm. And the origin of that, and how when we grew up, the F around and find out, you didn't need to say it. It was just assumed, even if some stranger at the grocery store, if you effed around, you'd find out. Slap. And like, I don't even know you. So looking at what happened with Bobby Wagner when he took out that fan with the pink smoke grenade, we were watching that. Maybe it's our age, Randy. We were like, yeah, that dude had it coming. Good for you, Bobby. Nicely done. Well done, Bobby. And I've even said that they need to, they do need to show this. So they need to show these guys getting completely demolished on TV as a deterrent to keep other people from coming out and trying this stupid crap. This whole protest stuff is stupid. You have a right to protest in public spaces. That football field is not a public space. That is why they both got tickets. He and the gal. So what happened was there was actually two of them. This gal had the same T-shirt. I'm not going to say what the cause was. I'm not going to do that. That she ran down there, but she never made it to the field with her smoke bomb. This guy, of course, what happened. He ran around on the field. Wagner and McKinley just sort of took him down, put him down. And at first, it looks like blam, just an absolute massive hit. But then on one still photograph, one of the things I see is going to destroy this guy's case if he does try to sue Bobby Wagner. And it's hard because I ran out of color ink today, but you see in the picture there, it's hard for you to make it out, but Bobby Wagner, as he goes over there, is not looking to just lay the lumber on the guy. He has his hand on the wrist where the smoke grenade is. And that gives credibility to the fact where he's like, yeah, you don't know what that fan has there, what they're doing. So he was just trying to disarm the guy.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's going on or what the intent is of this guy and his protest, So I when you see that photograph blown up and in color, there's no way that anything's going to happen. Well, this guy did go and file a police report against Bobby Wagner.
Well, see, I hope that goes absolutely nowhere. You cannot show up to protest inside somebody's place of work. You can show up outside. He could be outside the stadium and I don't know, gender reveal until the sky turns gray. He can do that all he wants to, but he can't go inside of the place of work, because I'll tell you, if you come in here and you don't have any permission, we'll lay you out.
Find out.
Yeah, that there isn't a single person that's in this building that wouldn't lay you out.
Yeah, we're not playing games.
That's because you don't belong there. That's not your space. And if you want to be outside, well, that's weird, but you can protest at a radio station outside. You do it all day, but you can't
show the windows. We'll just close the blinds.
Yeah,
that's it.
But you can't come inside. And the same thing is true in a football field. That is a place where people are working. They're doing their jobs. It's a game, but that's still their job. You don't get to just show up, run around like an idiot, and then when they try to stop you, file a police report. Why?
So the people he was protesting on behalf of say he suffered a burn injury during the incident.
Oh.
Well, he had a flaming can of pink smoke grenade running around. That's kind of on him. And then when you see the tackle, he is hit to the ground there, but his arm, which is all bandaged up in another picture, his arm's nowhere near the canister at that point. So if he burned himself, it wasn't part of that tackle. And here's something else I saw. Afterwards, this guy and this gal, they took a picture holding up their tickets. They were cited, and he's got a bag of ice in one hand. He's got a bandage on his arm and everything. And I'm just thinking, is he doing that for her? Yes. Why? Why are you doing this? Why do you think this is a good idea to do? But yeah, the other thing about it is in that picture with the citations and the ice and he also had these marks on 2 marks across his neck, marks on his face that were not, if you watch slow motion of the tackle, none of that was even involved. I think that they took some makeup or some schmutz and put it all over to make it look like he got roughed up, because if you saw what happened, blam, they got knocked down and the other security guards grabbed them, picked him up and took him away. So whatever that was in his face, that was not part of the incident. That was something they did themselves. I think a lawyer is going to have a field day with this. And I think they know that. They're only hoping that their .org or whatever it is that's taking credit for this protest gets attention. So I hope nobody is telling anybody what this was about.
And I don't even know. And that's the thing, is the other part of why I think that if they really, really wanted to protest it, if they actually gave a damn about what they were protesting for, they would have protested outside, because then someone could ask them what's going on. When you're running around on the football field, there's no conversation. You're just interrupting a game briefly and kind of annoyingly, and then you're done.
Now, I think that it should be legal for the players to do this. And even legal for remember that player, I don't know, it was last week or the week before, that knocked a guy down and then just jumped on top of him and gave him a season-ending injury. That should be allowed as well. I think Bobby Wagner and McKinley should have been able to take turns jumping on the guy.
Bobby Wagner was
like
too
a
nice.
trampoline. Boom, boom.
He was too nice for sure, because you said you showed the picture where he's holding the guy's hand. I think his other hand is actually on the back of the guy's shirt, grabbing him. So he never intended to injure him, just disarm him or knock him down.
McKinley was trying to grab him. Wagner was trying to grab his arm to get whatever that apparatus was out of his hand. And, they put him down on the ground. If anything happens from this, we're going to take the show on the road because we are going to protest. We're going to go and protest the courtroom. I'm going to go inside the courtroom. I'm going to protest. I'm going to have smoke grenades and all sorts of stuff. Because it'll be a complete ridiculousness if this moron actually makes some headway against Bobby Wagner or anybody else in this. Box of Screws says National Be Nice Day doesn't sound near as enjoyable as National Taco Day. Oh, by the way, my wife got me tacos. She did. She went and got me some tacos.
Man. Good for you.
Good. Congratulations.
And by the way, it's not, we're not observing National Be Nice Day. We've decided to observe National Teacher Day or World Teacher Day or whatever the hell it is. So don't worry about a Box of Screws. We ain't lost that edge. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Are you seeing the telomeres here? Come here, look at the scope.
Dr. Ocasio's lab startup just discovered a gene therapy breakthrough.
The cells have already doubled.
He needs a fleet of research assistants before this breakthrough breaks them.
We need lab techs, research assistants.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Don't be fooled by the people you meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but anyone who tries to sell you pills is nothing more than a drug dealer. And if you think tiny pills can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Know the truth about fentanyl at learnmoreaz.org. Don't be fooled. Don't be faked out. Visit learnmoreaz.org. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Well, Mrs. Grayer, nothing on the x-ray that pinpoints the source of the pain. Let's send you to our lumbar expert.
After reviewing the x-rays, I can't see anything wrong. Let's give you a steroid shot for the pain and send you to the lab for some blood work.
Tired of the runaround? How about trying a new approach? The holistic approach.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our medical doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
We know how it goes. You can't always tune in and hear your favorite shows and hosts.
Dude, look, I'm a loser. Okay?
It's cool, bro. That's why we post podcasts of your favorite shows and hosts. Listen when you want to. Listen on demand.
That is great. And frankly, kind of amazing.
Go to 1580thefanatic.com to download.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I don't know if anybody's going to get it, Pinocchio. Pinocchio is on the text line and says, pink flare, homemade protest garbage, face schmutz, Halloween costume, here we come. No, I don't know if anybody's going to get it by the time that happens.
Yeah, by the end of October, we will have forgotten about this guy and his entire incident at all.
Unless you have a friend dress up in a football outfit and they demolish you at every door you go asking for candy at.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, candy, and you get taken out. Or if you go to a Halloween party, like every 5 minutes, this dude has to just completely destroy you. That is commitment, Pinocchio. If you've got that kind of commitment, you got my respect.
Commit to the bit.
888-368-1580. If you like the high school football, well, by God, we're your home for it. On Friday night, 7 p.m., it's Liberty taking on Pasha. They're in what's called, it could be called Mormon on Mormon crime, but it's also just, just a good high school matchup.
Yeah, two undefeated teams.
Sure. Auburn is taking on Georgia on Saturday. I believe. What time is the game? I think it's 10 a.m.
It's high noon.
It's
12 noon.
I keep messing it up on our big our sheet thing we've got here.
I believe it's high. According to the broadcast calendar, it is high noon.
Well, what do you got, Keon?
It's noon.
Oh, so I did get it right on the calendar at least. Because oddly, I do both.
I said
the
10 because
calendar.
I looked at the sheet real fast and
Yeah, somebody should fix that.
I'll fix it because
Thank you. Appreciate that. 888-368-1580. All right. A little bit later on, we're going to have Keon Rose's, Keon's Corner for ASU football.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're even doing this, Keon. Why are we? Is there any hope ahead? Anything good?
Did you guys see, Keon? Did you see this? What was going on
at
ASU practice today?
Yeah. It was recruiting day.
So some former ASU players were through. I saw that.
Well, it looks like there were more high school football recruits at the practice than have been there in the past several years.
Doesn't mean any of them are worth a crap.
All these ASU football players, including some of the top talent in the state, were on hand at the practice.
It is a numbers game. It's not that everyone there is great. It's that you're more likely to find someone great if people actually, show up when you want to recruit them. So that's actually very helpful. Yeah. And it gets people fired up about the program, and it gets, those high school guys looking at your program like it's a legitimate program. It gives you options, which I just think is just a good thing.
I ain't gonna get in the way of it, but I'm not hopeful right now. I'm not as bad as Randy is about the Diamondbacks, but I listen. I'm realistic about what the rest of this season is going to be, and it ain't going to be pretty. And I honestly have no idea the hell Keon is going to even. Let's just do it right now because I want to find out. I want to find out what Keon Rose is going to do in Keon's Corner for ASU football because we can't show the uniforms. So what the hell are we doing here?
Okay. Yeah. Well, first off, I do want to say when I pitched you this idea, I was more optimistic about what the Sun Devils are going to be this year than what actually wound up happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still think it's worth talking about because, the program is still, they're the local team and I think you got to support them. So
Randy, pour me a drink, would you?
Absolutely. Sean Aguano, a couple of things about the direction he's trying to take the team right now that I'm actually really excited about is he's trying to, and he's doing it slowly but surely, because I just don't think you need to rip that Band-Aid off necessarily if the guys have been playing football one way and you want to change them. But he's slowly but surely getting them to try and break away from the style that Herm Edwards had to a more up-tempo, a more aggressive style. That's his style as a person. And I think he wants the team to get there. And I think he is going to get the team there. And they've got a good test against Washington coming up. Couple of things. Physical, you got to be that if you're going to play against Washington. If you're not physical, they're going to torch you. But also, yeah, I think you have to be aggressive. I don't know that ASU's defense is necessarily good enough to stop Washington, but they can slow them down. And then if you put some points on the board, you might actually be in the game come Saturday, which of course you've got, Terrell Suggs being honored, the Super Bowl champion, the former Sun Devil. Like Randy said, the next point that I'm moving to is, the practices, that the practices have been incredibly lively, that they're going to be recruiting. And this is the time of year when you're trying to lock in some level of talent. And so when you've got a guy who is an interim coach, who is able to build up the level of excitement that they have going on in the program right now. And then, yeah, it does help that you bring in Brock Osweiler and bring in Jamal Miles and other great ASU players. That is something that does get high school guys fired up because that's their goal.
Does it?
It
does.
I
guess the fact he got paid is inspirational, but he didn't do crap in the NFL, though, did he?
He didn't do crap in the NFL, but look, making it to the NFL is the win. That you try and make that career last as long as you can, but the average NFL career is 3 years. He got more than that. So you're playing the numbers game on that when you're trying to go to the NFL. But yeah, guys see players who went to the NFL and you go, okay, if he can do it, so can I. But if you have great players from your past, and when I say great players, I mean great players at the college level.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense to not use them, use their notoriety, use their fame to help you get other talented players.
Herm didn't use them before?
Wasn't a priority.
So you tell me Herm never dug these guys up and then brought them in for recruiting day?
It's not that it never happened, but when I'm reading some of the reports from, reporters in the area, they all seem excited about this. Like, this is not something that was happening often under Herm Edwards, which makes sense because he didn't like recruiting, which is the thing that it probably cost him his job more than anything else. Is you have to want to go out there and get talent, and it's not going to come to ASU by itself. Like, no one is going to look at ASU and be so thrilled to go there without some convincing. And this is not just true for ASU, it's true for every college football program. And that is one of the reasons why I do like Sean Aguano a lot. I think that if he's going to be around, I hope he stays. I hope that, they keep him on board in some capacity, because if he's got a recruiting ability, that is a fact. And you can use that whether he's the guy moving forward or somebody else.
Let's find out, though. I mean, you're saying he's got recruitability. Well, until he's recruited anybody, you can't know for sure.
Well, the thing is,
will he get a chance at the end of the season to continue in the process, or is whoever the next head coach is going to step right up? You see what I'm saying? So his recruitability is irrelevant till after the season, and only if they keep him around, right?
It isn't, because if he's able to get enough players to commit that you don't bottom out. That's what you don't want to do when you're in a coaching transition in the middle of the season. Wisconsin's obviously dealing with this too, because they fired their coach. And every team that fires their coach mid-season, the thing that you always worry about is, we're going to have a bunch of guys putting their names in the transfer portal. Well, we already got that part. That part already happened. But are you going to be able to convince anybody else to come to this school, and be able to commit to ASU long term? And he has done that in the past on this staff. He was one of the better recruiters on this staff. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's at least casting the net and making it so that ASU can be viable moving forward, and not have 1 or 2 years where they just completely bottom out, because that's just hard to come back from in general.
I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right.
And the other bit of stuff there I was going to get to with ASU, we're over this period. We're looking at coaches that may be on the radar for ASU, and I'm going to get the
Mike Ditka.
Boy, that would be
been a while since we've had racists in the news here. I'm just saying.
This thing is go from old school hyper conservative Herm Edwards, who didn't like to recruit, to even older school, even more ultra conservative.
Don't act like ASU don't have some oxygen tanks around handy.
Who might hate recruiting more. They might have some around, but let's not go there that
all
fast.
Right,
I'm going to actually get one guy out of the way that none of us want, which is Urban Meyer.
No!
Look, I'm just get to. I hear you. But nobody on this show wants Urban Meyer, because he is
nobody
a
in the
scumbag.
state wants Urban Meyer.
And
nobody.
Nobody good. Urban Meyer's a noted scumbag, among other things. But if you just want to look at an X's and O's perspective in college football, because obviously that didn't show up in the NFL in any way, Urban Meyer understands how to build a college football program. Is it worth having him? No, not even remotely, not at all. This is not a pitch for Urban Meyer. Just go ahead and get that out of the way. It is not a pitch for Urban Meyer. I am simply saying he's going to be on the radar. They are going to look at him.
When you see him on the radar, there's only one word: fire. That's it. You don't.
we got to get Big George to be our U-boat captain again.
It's time for some urban warfare.
Oh, clever. But yeah, I think that Urban Meyer is going to be somebody who gets considered. I don't know exactly what service they're going to use for this coaching search, but regardless, I don't see how his name does not come up. Maybe he doesn't get an interview, but they're going to look through, the resume, and he's going to be a potential candidate.
I hope somebody more dirtbaggish takes him before they even get a chance to think about it.
I sure hope so. Because the answer for me, that's a no. I'll support the team just because that's the local team, but I'm not down with Urban Meyer. But regardless, he's on the coaching search list, checked off, get him out of the way, so we don't have to talk about Urban Meyer anymore. And that's the ASU corner.
You don't have anybody else?
No, I'm going one coach per week.
Boomer Sooner says he'd like to watch Urban embarrass himself once again and get fired. Well, here's the thing. Please not here. Not here.
Go to SMU or something.
Yeah. Bob Schwersky says, Mike Ditka. Yeah, no, Bob Schwersky, no. All right. When we come back, I think we should just start talking some NFL football.
Why not?
rinse the bitter taste of ASU's failures out of our mouth.
Yep.
And all the other silliness of the Diamondbacks and the this and the that and the damn Yankees. I want a fresh start. So at 4 p.m., we will freshen our start and we will just jump right in to some NFL football. How's that sound? I think that sounds nice.
I'm for it.
Sounds sexy. That's what's going to happen. Sexy football.
Sexy.
The Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need, 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text TAP to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text TAP to 321-321. That's TAP to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
NASCAR Championship weekend is back at Phoenix Raceway. Drivers will put it all on the line to claim NASCAR greatness. The Truck Series Championship kicked things off Friday night under the lights. We're going to tear it up tonight. Followed by an action-packed Saturday, where fans will witness an ARCA and Xfinity Series Championship doubleheader. Don't miss out on the action November 4th and 5th. Get your tickets now for NASCAR Championship weekend at PhoenixRaceway.com or call 866-408-RACE.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Arizona Army National Guard, aired by the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K256 Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. The mere mention of the name Mike Ditka has made Bob Swirsky happy and sweaty. Last Optimist, now imitating Bob Swirsky, says, who would win in a fight, Ditka or a hurricane named Ditka? Mike Ditka. Yeah. Yeah, he kind of turned into a real POS there at the end, though. So, yeah. Boomer Sooner says, hey, Jeffrey, I won my first fantasy game. Vaulted me right up to a 3-way tie for 4th place.
Hey, how about that? All right.
Congrats.
Yeah. You know, I've noticed as weird as everything has been in the NFL this year, this has been kind of just kind of hard to gauge, right? Well, fantasy football, as I am commissioner over 13 Daily Blender fantasy football leagues, I have noticed all these teams, a lot of parity, as they say. Nobody is out of contention. Nobody is running away with it. Even like the teams that are undefeated, if you look at the points for and points against, it's close. It is across the board close and still anybody's season. So Boomer Sooner, you keep plugging away at it, man, and who knows what might happen. He also says, guys, isn't this the coach that ASU has the interim, this Sean Aguano guy? Wasn't he at one of the major high schools for a couple of years? And he's been here a couple of years, so he might be good at recruiting with the locals, right? That is correct.
Yeah. And not only was he at one of the big high schools here, I believe it was Chandler. Dude won multiple state championships, 3 championships in 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, if
He's a
the
winner.
guy can coach. The guy can coach.
Chandler, I think.
Chandler, Sean Aguano. Let me see if I can look it up. But the guy can coach, and he's got a great, a palpable sense of energy. You know what I mean? He loves ASU, and he loves the Sun Devil organization, and he loves the kids that are coming here. And he's, I was reading on Twitter earlier today. I mean, his practices are fun and upbeat, and he's out there and he's got a lot of energy in this Sun Devil squad that's currently there. Who knows? I mean, this team could turn around and perform some miracles down the stretch here that we didn't see coming. And Sean Aguano could end up being your head coach moving forward.
Probably not.
Probably not.
As far as him
I'm just
being the head coach, but I just need one miracle this year.
But
one.
It probably not head coach, but there is a case for him to be the head coach. If you have these sanctions that are coming down from the NCAA and you don't know exactly how hard you're going to get hit, a lot of teams will hang on to the interim coach or bring in another guy to kind of just weather the storm. And then when they're done and they can have their postseasons and their scholarships back, then they go and try and go after the big name coach.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dear God. I think Heckler Jones might be dying.
Uh-oh.
He said something nice.
What?
Heckler Jones will be missed. He says, who are the weenies on before you guys? Oh, man, I'm happy to hear you all.
So it's like a mixed.
Yeah, but anything that smells like a nice thing about us, I
that means the other show must really be bad.
Heckler Jones, are you okay, man?
According to ASU Sun Devil, or according to thesundevils.com, the official information source for the Sun Devils, Coach Aguano comes from Chandler High School, where he was like 88 and let's see here, 88.
He looked way younger.
I can't see it. Chandler High School, nation's top high school program, compiled a 63-8 mark over his 5 seasons. During that stretch, he was in the max top 25 3 times, and he won something like 3 state championships. So this guy knows how to handle these young men that are coming in and get them fired up.
Only one way he gets the job is if he starts winning a lot of games. If he wins a bunch of games down the stretch here from now until the end of the season, then okay, now he'll be the next head coach.
Which
now you're
going
to be like,
I think when you look at him as a potential coaching option, I think you have to look at his process. I think you have to look at what the players do and how the players respond to him as a head coach and how he recruits. Because if you look at just the wins and the losses, he doesn't have a team that can compete. I wish he did.
Not on him.
But he doesn't have a team that can compete. But if he has a couple of surprising wins and the players and the locker room fall behind him and get behind him, again, with those sanctions potentially coming down, maybe he's the guy to weather the storm.
Well, I'd like to see him, if he's a good coach, you'd like to see him get a better shot than weathering the storm or filling a seat until somebody else gets there. So if this guy really is good, I hope he does get a good shot at it. Maybe, and again, I've said this before when we've talked about Aguano, that I would hope that when they do find some other coach, that he still has a place on this staff. And I feel like with his connection to the Valley and his connection to think and how well he's doing, will they be idiots to send him away? In fact, what you got to do now is we're going to groom this guy. We're going to groom this guy for the future. And if not for here, for him, for somewhere else, because it sounds like he's earning it.
It does sound like it. Like the players are really responding to him, which is exciting. And he's also trying to get them to play differently, which is also exciting. I think that is going to be what he's graded on is, okay, well, what are the results? Are we competitive in some of these games? And I think that's going to be the best indicator of what Sean Aguano is going to be and what opportunity he's going to get.
Boomer Sooner says, whatever ASU does, keep this guy. Last Optimist says, I would like to preemptively congratulate Jeffrey on his win in Premier League this upcoming weekend. Why would you do that? Why would you do? I'm playing Last Optimist in the Premier League. Why would you think I'm going to do that? Are you trying to reverse jinx it? I think Last Optimist is going to win. It's a lock.
And there you go.
Haven't heard that in a while.
Fish Tank said, because I'm careful when I use it.
That's
man.
true.
Fish Tank says, I really hate that I'm sort of scared of the crappy Jets this week. Normally, I'm delighted to see them twice a year so we can steamroll them. But with Teddy B in as quarterback, just how weird the year has been so far. Kind of worried about a letdown game here. Well, I don't think so, man. I hate this. No. Even with Teddy Bridgewater, no. I feel like the Dolphins should come away with a win. But I understand your fear. I understand the anxiety on that, the way the year has been and stuff.
They should come away with a win, but
they
will
should.
they?
But the Jets are 2-2, and they've been competitive in every game. It's not like they've turned the corner, but you fall asleep against the Jets, and they'll beat you. Ask the Browns.
We understand how you feel, Fish Tank, but I think you're going to be all right. All right, so let's talk since we're talking coaches, we're going to go from college coaches to NFL coaches. And Kyle Shanahan in the 49ers have decided to have a little wine with their cheese. And I know you guys saw the game. Do you find any credibility to what Kyle Shanahan is saying? He's complaining to the league, saying Nick Bosa gets held a lot. Well, he's a dirtbag, so what?
And he's a great pass rusher. Find me a great pass rusher that doesn't get held a lot.
He says it's something I've seen a lot with him since he's been here, going back to his first year in the Super Bowl. So it's always been tough. We turn everything in every week. Sometimes they agree, sometimes they don't. But he's basically saying the officials are turning a blind eye to Nick Bosa getting held by the offense.
I mean, come on. You could call this on any great pass rusher in the league. Every one of these guys could complain about being held a lot. And Kyle Shanahan is trying to get an edge for the San Francisco 49ers defense, and he's trying to go about it by whining about it that his star quarterback rusher is getting held a lot. So is Chandler Jones. So is J.J. Watt. So, and the list goes on. Give it a break.
I have a solution. Whiners. Here's what you do, 40 whiners. You take Nick Bosa and you spray him with some skunk juice. Nobody's going to want to hold him.
Yeah.
They'll come up to him. They'll be trying to push him away.
Yeah.
They won't be trying to grab him because they don't want to stink.
That's a good point. Yeah.
A little bit of skunk juice. Done.
Maybe a deer urine. Maybe some of the
Sex
bull
Panther.
deer urine. Yeah. Oh, Sex Panther. There you go.
Get some of that.
Listen, the cheerleaders will be all over him, but the offensive linemen will leave him alone.
Oh, you smell like Bigfoot's penis. I can't. Yeah.
Wow. Can't say that.
I could say it, but I didn't.
Well,
anyway, so so I guess that's how Kyle Shanahan, I'm sure his dad is rolling over in his grave.
I mean, I'm sure TJ Watt, when he was out there playing before he got her, I'm sure he was getting held to. Give it a rest.
Myles Garrett. I mean, pick an edge rusher. They all get held.
Micah
Aiden
Parsons.
Hutchinson is a damn rookie up in Detroit. That dude gets held like 3 or 4 times a game.
Yeah.
And they don't ever call it because they could call it on every play. So they try to call the really bad ones.
It's just like they don't call that false start on the, on the tackle that gets that kind of half step before the ball's actually snapped. Give it a rest.
Yeah, it's got to be very, very blatant. Or if they called everything, every little thing, I don't mind the non-calls as much as I don't like the bad calls or a game-changing non-call where we've all seen it. But a little bit of whatever on the line,
or consistency. Like if they're not calling it
We're holding
in the
you,
first
you're holding
quarter,
us.
then don't call it in the fourth. Like that kind of consistency. But that wasn't the case. It wasn't like they were being inconsistent.
Yeah.
They just weren't calling it on that day.
And Jeffrey and Keon, as well as I do, that if the offensive lineman gets inside on the guy and holds him, they're not going to call that. It's when he's outside the pads, when they're trying to reroute the guy, he's outside the pads, or if he's just like grabbing onto him as he goes by, kind of dragging onto him to slow him down just a little bit, give any sort of support to that quarterback. That's when they're going to call it. It's not when there's hand-to-hand combat going on.
And I haven't gone back and watched that game yet, but a lot of pass rushers can help themselves by playing through the contact. If the guy is holding you, don't stop, keep going. And what it does is actually exposes it, and then the referees can call it.
Yeah, and really, this is the bad Bosa, so we don't give a damn.
This is true. This is also true.
Just don't care. Another coach, I don't know if this is a whiner or a bambulance type, the wambulance, but I don't know, maybe it's legit. Maybe. Todd Bowles is saying that the hurricane relocation actually did impact the preparation for the Chiefs game. Saying, that's the biggest thing is preparation and practice, and you play how you practice. But with all the movement last week, all the stuff happening, I don't think we prepped as well as we should have, or as well as some people could have. But preparation will be key this week. Now, he wasn't whining. He wasn't making excuses. I think Todd Bowles is a explanation guy, not an excuses guy, because there's nowhere in there where he was whining like Kyle Shanahan. He was just, that's the thing. When somebody says, what just happened? Here's the explanation, not an excuse. Big ass hurricane, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we did the best we could.
They were about to have to play in Minnesota at a moment's notice. That's obviously going to affect your practice.
Well, no, it wasn't just that. A lot of these players and families, they had houses all up and down Florida, so not everybody lived in Tampa Bay. Some of these guys lived, I think Tom Brady was in Miami. Other guys up and down the coast. So who knew?
The Carolinas.
You got to take care of your family. You got to take care of your property, and so everybody was, if not dealing with it, distracted by it for sure. So we can sympathize with that. But cheers to Todd Bowles not making excuses, but explaining. Yeah, that maybe wasn't our best moment because we were dealing with a lot of stuff last week, but we're good. We're good for this week. Don't worry.
Sure, it was a huge distraction. Like you said, these guys were probably, their minds weren't 100% focused like they would be at their own practice facility, sleeping in their own beds, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Bill Belichick was so distracted he forgot to hit record on one of those drones. So, I mean,
could happen to anybody.
Yeah. So
damn it.
I'm not going to take that as an excuse. I'm not something I'm going to get too bent out of shape about. Keon has been itching to talk about NFL coaches on the hot seat.
On the hot seat?
Where were you, Randy?
I mean, there's like a...
What happened on the hot seat, Randy?
I know. I didn't
on
know
the hot seat.
On the hot seat. On the hot seat.
Are we doing like 4 downs? Is that what we're doing? 4 downs?
He just wants to talk about. No, it's not. We're not doing a contest. Although George did declare Keon the winner of Keon's Corner about ASU. Says wasn't even close this time. For the first time in forever, Keon Rose actually won this segment of Keon Rose's College Football Corner. Congratulations, Keon. Jeffrey was a close second with his drinking during your segment and his quips. Randy sadly came in last. Better luck next time, Randy.
It's not the first time in forever. I have literally never won Keon's ASU Corner.
Yeah.
It's never happened.
True.
This is the first time, actually.
Yeah.
Baby got Dak. I'm going to have to get back to that here in a moment because we're now on NFL coaches on the hot seat, not husbands in the NFL on the hot seat. All right.
Hot seat.
On the hot seat. Thank you, Randy. All right. So the CBS story, and listed off the names of the guys who, you're probably okay. And then there was not so good. And holy crap, this person's probably going to get fired soon. But you had some thoughts on all this. Get the ball rolling, Keon.
Yeah, basically, we're looking at the coaches that are on the hot seat right now. And the thing about them is that there's a range of coaches. There are some coaches who have had some time to prove what they're worth. And there's some coaches who are brand new coaches, and it already doesn't look great. And I know it's, we're 4 games into the season. You don't want to, get too crazy about it.
I'd like to fire Frank Reich, please.
Well, we were going to get there because they have.
I personally want to be the one that does it.
Oh, like they just bring you in.
You want to be the one that flies to Indy, walks into his office, and says, "You're fired."
I'm going to email Jim Irsay saying, "Listen, I can take care of this. I can take care of this."
Frank, turn in your iPad.
Yep.
So, well, let's start with Frank Reich.
All right.
Colts 1-2-1. As things stand right now, is Frank Reich surviving this season?
No. Well, yes, he'll survive the season. I don't think Irsay is going to take him out at the knees during the season, but it's pretty obvious, and Chris Ballard to go with him. I love Chris Ballard. I thought he did a great job with the draft, but he was part of making bad decisions about a quarterbacks. Phil Rivers, Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan. Okay. Yeah, he was complicit, if not responsible. I think Frank Reich pushed the quarterback agenda more than Chris Ballard did. Chris Ballard good at a draft, but unfortunately, he's going to go down with Frank Reich. And Jim Irsay ain't going to put up with this. He might be nice enough to let him finish the season. He'll say, "Hey, guys, good job, good job." And in the background, he's already working on it. He might even be on the phone with Sean Payton going, "Please, I'll give you some shrooms." Something. But no, I'm sorry. Frank is nice guy, super nice guy, but that doesn't get you W's. And the Colts just are a shadow of what they could have and should have been. So yeah, I don't think it'll happen in the season, but this is the last hurrah for Frank Reich in Indianapolis.
And it's not helping that when he talks to the media, the things that he is saying and trying to be optimistic, it just makes him look delusional instead of optimistic. Never a good sign. So Randy, Nathaniel Hackett and these Broncos. I'm already.
Oh, wait. Can I call a timeout?
Sure.
We have to take a timeout. And actually, before you ask him about the Broncos, I want to know about Mr. Skinny Jeans. I want to know about the hot seat that should be underneath Mr. Cliff Kingsbury. Can we ask Randy about that when we come back?
Absolutely.
Because you'll get your turn with Ron Rivera. I guarantee it. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-306-8158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-306-8158. That's 800-306-8158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-306-8158. Again, 800-306-8158.
Sun Devil football returns home to take on the Washington Huskies Saturday, October 8th in the annual Hall of Fame game. The Sun Devils will debut their special Rising Devils Adidas uniforms, and at halftime, ASU will honor the newest inductees into the Sun Devil Athletics Hall of Fame, including 7-time Pro Bowler and 2-time Super Bowl champion Terrell Suggs. Get your tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Fire up the band. It's time to play ball. We're serving up the best matchups on the college gridiron.
Touchdown! What a catch!
The power conferences, the biggest games, your favorite teams.
Under pressure, and he goes down.
Get all the action live on your home for football in the Valley. 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. This weekend could go a little further towards finding out what coaches are on the hot or hotter seat.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, we got Sunday here on 1580 The Fanatic. We got that stupid London game at 6 a.m. between the Giants and the Packers. Then at 9:30 a.m., we have Steelers at Bills. And then, of course, Sunday Night Football, Bengals at Ravens. So full day of football for you here on 1580 The Fanatic. We talked about Mike Holtz and Frank Reich, who I think probably will not be the coach next year, but probably will survive the season. And I'm sure Randy, old Mr. Skinny Jeans, probably going to survive the season too. But I mean, I know this was Keon's thing with the hot seat, but
yeah, no, it's all good.
You think Cliff is going to be around next year?
I think it depends on what happens the next several games. I mean, we've gone a third of the season already, and as the tide. Well, okay. As the tide. Well, what do you mean? Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. A quarter of the season.
We don't do math here.
I was told there would be no math here. But look, I mean, so far it's been lackluster. After you had a start like you had last year, you have a team that's coming out that looks kind of unorganized, undisciplined, uninspired, and it took Kyler Murray, facing all the criticism, took Kyler Murray to kind of get angry and to get this team moving. So we'll see what happens against the Eagles this week. And if you drop another game against a no-name team, is somebody that's really struggling to win, I think that you start seeing the temperatures turn up on Cliff Kingsbury and Steve Keim. I read something about Steve Keim today. In one of the drafts, all his draft picks have been cut by the team. Does that give you any idea as to the ineptitude in the front office of the Cardinals?
Wow. Except for Kyler Murray.
In 1 year, all of his draft picks were cut.
Oh, I see. No,
that's very bad.
Yeah, that's about right. That sounds about right.
The nice way of saying it. And I think with the hot seat conversation, in the same way that the Colts hot seat is Reich and Ballard are connected, they're joined at the hip. I think Keim and Kingsbury are joined together.
You would think so, but Bidwell has been very loyal in the face of ridiculousness. At times we thought before, Keon, that they were going to fire Keim or something. No, and then you're like, oh my God, nothing happened. Well, so who really know? You think they should be, but they may not be, because if Bidwell is susceptible to suggestion, he might be buying somebody's BS. I don't know whose BS that is, but it may not mean the end of Keim.
And that might be true, but you got to ask yourself a question. If you're Mr. Bidwell, you've got to ask yourself a question. Do you want championships or do you want friendships? What's it worth to you? Having Steve Keim as your buddy or winning a Super Bowl and bringing a Super Bowl to Arizona? What's important to you?
And a lot of owners actually have to do this because they, you develop relationships, obviously, with these general managers and coaches. You talk to them all the time. You're close. They're working friends with you. Yeah. And so it's hard to then make that move to say to someone that you maybe even still care about and respect, got to take your job from you. That's always a tough conversation. And I don't care how, high powered of a business person you are, that's going to be a tough conversation.
Well, here's the thing. Nice guy, Michael Bidwell, has very well paid these guys. So it's not like he's leaving them broke and destitute on the side of the road, maybe somewhere near a bus stop. It's not like that. They'll be fine. And at some point, he's going to have to do it. Yeah. This can't go on this way much longer.
But especially when it comes to the drafting, the more I look at Steve Keim draft, even the draft picks that I like when he does it, they're all high risk, potentially low reward guys. So I don't know what to make of that he still has a job.
Guano, you're right. Keim and Kingsbury did just get extensions, but that does never stop anybody from being fired.
And I think Kingsbury has just the 1 year extension. It wasn't.
Might still slow down Bidwell though. Maybe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You might be like, I don't know that the former prosecutor likes confrontation much.
Well, if that's the case, then you're choosing friendships over championships.
Yeah.
Now,
and he's rich enough to do that. Right?
You get to owners in there that listen. They make friends with their leadership, but look, if they're not producing, and you're looking for championships, then you're going to forgo that friendship in route to a championship. You can try to explain it as respectful as possible. Look, we're just not winning. I want to win, and you're not the right choice. We can remain friends, but I got to move on to somebody else.
Yes, Lost Toby. The guy, the protester, is he's pressing charges against Bobby Wagner. Yeah, we talked about that in the last hour, but yeah, you're right. It's a joke. Let's see. Joe the Show says Nathaniel Hackett. It took him until week 2 or 3 to hire a game clock manager. Yeah, you almost think the game clock manager ought to be the coach. All right, so should we talk about Nathaniel Hackett there, Keon?
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Nathaniel Hackett, because here's the thing. Part of being a head coach is game clock management. That's like half of the job. I don't understand how, they hired this guy, and that's not something that they knew he struggled with, because these interviews to be a head coach, it's not an hour or 2 hours. This is like an 8 to 10 hour process. They bring you in the morning and you explain everything. Here's my offensive philosophy. Here's my defensive philosophy. If I had to hire a coordinator, this is who it would be. This is what I want to do. These are my X's and O's. This is my strategy, all of this stuff. So when you have a guy that can't do one of the 2 things that a head coach mainly does, which is delegate and make sure that you have all the right people in the right places as your coordinators and your position coaches, and manage the clock. If you don't have a guy who can do those things, I don't know how you go out of a 10-hour interview and don't know that the guy can't do that.
Well, I think what
really
he said it was a little bit of an ass kissing kind of thing, where it's like, you have the right people in place. We don't need to bring in more people, because they originally said, hey, you need some more people. He's like, no, we're good with what we have. And then later he's like, it turns out I'm not good with what I have.
Which was smart of him to do. He could have dug his heels in on that, but at least he made the move to try and save his bacon.
But that also comes out in the way he calls his game. And he's over careful at times, and he makes dumb ass decisions at others. Basically because he was over careful before. His entirety of running a game is he's playing scared from beginning to end, and that is no way to play in an NFL game. And good God, I have no idea what this guy is thinking when he's out there calling plays, and the stuff they end up doing on the field just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, and it reminds me of the Cardinals in a lot of ways, because when the Cardinals have some of their biggest plays, it's literally just stuff Kyler Murray made up. And when the Broncos have some of their best plays, it's just stuff Russ Wilson made up. I actually think he's holding Russ Wilson back with some of his play calling. It's been atrocious at its worst, and at its best, it's just been okay. And that's not going to get it done in the National Football League, but it's also not going to get it done in the AFC West, where, the Chiefs are and the Raiders are, and those teams are going to be capable of beating you, and the Chargers as well. Like, you're just not going to get that done. I think Nathaniel Hackett, he can save his job. He can rattle off some wins, put some minds at ease. But if this game clock manager doesn't help, if the extra help and the extra eyeballs coming in to watch the offensive play room when they get together and start talking what their strategy is for the week, when those guys get together, if that stuff is not helping him and we're still seeing some of these same results, Nathaniel Hackett could be first year in, first year out, because these people did not hire him. The team,
hit wonder.
Yeah, the folks that own this team don't have that same Bidwell Kime relationship with Nathaniel Hackett.
And understand something, they're watching this right now thinking the same thing everyone else is.
Yeah,
and even worse, they're like, oh God, we have to get out of this,
because the Waltons showed up. I think the Monday night where he chose not to go for that field goal and wasted all that time. They were the owners were there, the new owners, the Waltons, and they invited all of these people, Condoleezza Rice, everybody.
Look what we just bought.
Yeah, and then they just got embarrassed in front of all these people they invited. Rich people do not like that. So Nathaniel Hackett's in he's in dire straits at the moment. He's going to have to win. I don't think that he's in a position now where they're going to let him kind of coast to 500 and give it another year.
Does he last through the season?
I think he does, just because I don't know if you can find anybody right now who's going to make things.
I got anyone on the staff that can handle this. They just get the guy who's doing the clock management. He'll be fine.
But if they say they lose their next couple of games, he's done. I don't think he makes it to the end.
Listen, if I'm running a franchise of any kind, baseball, football, whatever, and you're showing this sort of ineptitude, I'll cut you loose. It would be better if the towel boy was running the thing, because then at least there's an excuse why the team is so bad. You see what I'm saying? We brought this guy in after 10 hours.
There's something there.
Wow.
Last Optimist says, I thought both Keim and Kingsbury got 5-year extensions each. In my mind, neither would be on the hot seat for at least 3 years.
Yeah.
But on the other side of that, Guano says, well, what I was getting at is the Bidwells have always been penny pinchers. Well, you're thinking about his dad, Guano. I don't think Michael Bidwell is anywhere near the penny pincher that his dad was. And they have spent some money. Some of it, we've all agreed, has been a little bit ill-advised. Mark Sanchez. That was Mark Sanchez who got like $10 million for nothing, right?
No, that was what's his name from Oklahoma? The Sam
Bradford.
Sam Bradford. Why do I always get those guys confused for each other? But yeah, he just paid Sam Bradford a crap ton of money for nothing.
Yeah. He did that with Matt Leinart too. And,
Sam Bradford got paid a lot of money for nothing by a lot of teams.
Yeah.
So
lucky. Michael Bidwell is not cheap.
And there was a 5-year extension for both of them. I don't know why I thought it was one for Kingsbury.
How not cheap he is. So.
Yeah, he's willing to spend the money.
All right, so don't act like you're going to get away unscathed. Your team, the Commandos, are 1-3. And, I love Ron Rivera. You love Ron Rivera. Pretty much everybody seems to love Ron Rivera. But he's 1-3. And he's got what should be a serviceable quarterback.
He has what should be a serviceable quarterback. Around that quarterback are great weapons. There is a good running game. There is talent on that defense. The fact that Montez Sweat.
Timeout on the field. That defense is kind of trash. Your defense is garbage.
The secondary is. That's why I said talent on that defense. I didn't say a great defense.
Okay.
I said there is talent on that defense. And the fact that Montez Sweat, who is one of your best players on that defensive line, hasn't registered a single sack this season is an indictment of that defense. Ron Rivera is a defensive coach. Jack Del Rio has been the defensive coordinator, and there have been excuses made for Jack Del Rio. And I'm tired of hearing them. And if I'm tired of hearing them, I can't imagine how people inside that building must feel, because this is now year 3. And in year 3, you start to see the development. In year 1, they started slow. They wound up winning like 5 games. Year 2, they started slow. They wound up winning 7 games, with Taylor Heineke at quarterback. They even beat the Buccaneers. It just looked like, okay, you're trending in a direction where, some people had the gall to say they were going to win 8 games this year. Not go to the playoffs, not win the division, just win 8 games.
And we forgave you for it.
It's not working out that way. And as much as I like Ron Rivera, the excuses are wearing thin. Where is the beef? Where is this offense that is finally supposed to be realized? Where is, this running game that's supposed to be great? It's not here.
He's on a hot seat, but I'm going to tell you right now, he's safe. And here's why. Old Danny Snyder is not allowed to play with the team. So who's Ron Rivera answering to? The dude's wife. And they're sort of in a, we need all the good PR we can get kind of moment right now. And I know you and your fellow fans are like, we want wins. We're tired of this garbage. And maybe you do want a little bit of Ron Rivera's head on a spit, but in general, they might be afraid to do that at least until the end of the season or something else, because they're just trying to maintain a status quo, brand new name. They've got so many other problems that the last thing they care about is the coach and the play on the field. That organization is focused on other things right now. Obviously not football. So that might actually keep them safe.
It might keep him safe, but I hope that they make the necessary changes if things don't turn around and improve. And they don't have to turn around and improve drastically. Like, nobody is asking for a Super Bowl in that city, but they are asking for, hey, when we play the Eagles, can we show up? Can we be competitive in that football game? You show up and play the Lions. Can you play the Lions in the first half too? Because some of the stuff that's just happened has just been inexcusable. We're talking blown coverages from guys who've been in the league for years and years. You're talking about, an offensive line, which by the way was thin before the season. We knew it was thin. And guess what happened? They didn't address it. Or rather, they did address it by going and grabbing a bunch of washed up former Carolina Panthers, which is Ron Rivera's move. That's what he does. And the joke was during the offseason that they were trying to be the Washington Commanders because they were just going out there and just getting old Panthers players. Oh, we got a hole at right guard. Let's go get a Panther. Oh, we got a problem at right tackle. Let's go get a Panther. And now look what's happening. The offensive line, one guy got injured. The whole offensive line's done.
All right. Speaking of Panthers, Matt Rule, the smock, as Randy likes to call him. That's a guy who's got to be on a hot seat right now, right?
That's 100% on a hot seat. And not only is his seat hot, if Matt Rule makes it to, I don't know exactly when their bye week is, but if he makes it to that bye week and they are well below 500, I don't think Matt Rule makes it out of that bye week as the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. I don't think the GM makes it out of the season either.
Yeah. Whose idea was it to bring Baker Mayfield? Was that Matt Rule?
They both agreed. The general manager and Matt Rule.
They're
agreed.
both toast.
Yeah.
They're both toast.
Week 13 would be the bye week this year, guys.
Oh, wow. He may not even make that.
Yeah, that might be too optimistic. He may get axed before then because they made that promise to their owner that they were going to get this right. And Baker Mayfield was supposed to be the solution over Sam Darnold, which they also said they were going to get right. So now they're paying two guys their fifth-year rookie contract, which is the bigger version of that contract. We're talking $40 million between two guys and Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, whom nobody thinks is any good.
So, all right, we've got the hot seat coaches, the maybe coaches, and of course, there's some guys who are struggling. But Dennis Allen from the Saints, first-year head coach, they can't even tank because they gave away their pick. So, yeah, all right. Well, let's not even think about that. He's probably not going to get fired, even unless he loses a whole lot more games. The Chargers, no, they're not close to being out of this thing yet. I wouldn't worry about it. I'm not worried about Mike Tomlin because clearly they're tanking. I'm sure that the ownership and the people above him know they are kung fu tanking.
I don't think they're tanking. I think they're just bad.
You know what? That it may be a thing where, and this is what Ron Rivera should do is, and Mike Tomlin should, if he's not doing it on purpose, steer the ship into the storm and then go to your people, have a meeting and say, listen, this is out of control. I know this is bad. We're going to go ahead and tank and get this thing right.
I think
you
Ron
might save your job.
I think Ron should do that. I really do. Because if you tank and get one of these quarterbacks, you kind of reset the clock a little bit.
Yeah.
And they have no commitments to Carson Wentz financially after this year. Nothing. So you could get out of that incredibly easily and just move right along and grab a quarterback.
So do you have any surprise coaches on the hot seat? People you think might be in some sort of jeopardy, Keon?
I know you mentioned Brandon Staley as a guy not to look at necessarily.
I wouldn't even think about it.
But part of it is he's a defensive coach and the defensive side of the ball is suffering. They're just giving up a ton of yards. Two, he's the analytics guy. He's the guy that if it says on the chart, go for it on fourth down, he's going for it on fourth down regardless of the situation. If it says on the chart, go for two, he's going for two regardless of the situation. I think that has a way of looking really bad. Mm-hmm. And if they fall behind and he continues to do things like that, and that's the reason why they're losing, he could potentially wind up in a position where he's getting fired earlier than he probably should.
All right, I'm a little curious. On the text line, 888-368-1580. Tell me who your coach is and if you think they should be fired.
My coach is Cliff Kingsbury.
Yes, and?
I think he's getting fired.
Yeah. No, not do you think he is. Do you think he should be?
Should be. Yes, he should be fired. Yeah.
So there you go. I just want to know what you guys think. So it's a text line roll call. Who's your coach and do you think that person should be fired? Text it in. 888-368-1580. Going to take a break and come on back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-813-8757 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-813-8757. That's 800-813-8757. What do you have to lose? Call 800-813-8757. Again, 800-813-8757.
Hi, Jada Cantor, Desert Wholesale Diamond, and my dad, Diamond Dave. Lots of people sell diamonds in Scottsdale, but no one like my dad. He really imports diamonds directly from overseas. A few people say this, he really does this. Then he wholesales them direct to you. He designs and manufactures custom rings for wholesale in his own facility, providing top quality service for the lowest price. He does this in our professional offices, giving you one-on-one attention while saving you the rent and overhead of a high-end or big box chain. He saves so much, and he'll do the same for you. Don't pay retail. Work with a 4th-generation GIA graduate, diamond importer, and get her the diamond she wants at a price you want.
Call 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor. Or online at www.diamonddaveaz.com. That's www.diamonddaveaz.com.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from The Main Event, here to tell you about Access Property Advisors. When I need to buy or sell properties or get them rented out, Access Property Advisors gets me the best sales price or lease terms to make my rental properties profitable. Jason Sellers has an impressive team of professionals at Access Property Advisors, experts in just about anything you can need with real estate. So whether you want to find the home of your dreams, sell your home, or manage your rental property, do what I do and give Access Property Advisors a call at 602-614-5590. That's 602-614-5590 or visit accesspropertyadvisors.com.
At Progressive, you can get 24/7 protection, even if you break the space-time continuum.
We did it. We time traveled to yesterday. Wait, Progressive covers us 24/7, but we just created an 8-day week, and it's 24/7 coverage, not 24/8. We got to go back. Are you joking right now? Shh, I'm calling them. Hi, I have a question about time travel.
Progressive offers more than a great price when you bundle home and auto. We offer round-the-clock protection, which literally means anytime. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers, and subject to policy terms. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Before becoming a professional announcer, I took the announcer oath, which forbids me from misleading listeners.
Just wrap your heads around the reality of that.
That means I speak the truth when I say you can listen to us on your smart speaker.
Just say, listen to 1580 The Fanatic.
Thursday night football tomorrow night. You'll hear it live here on the big station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic, Arizona's sports betting station. And speaking of sports betting, you could start the new NFL week off right with a no-sweat same-game parlay from FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. It doesn't matter if you're new to FanDuel or if you're a long user of the account. You can get free bets back if your Thursday night same-game parlay doesn't hit. I think that personally, now I'm just looking at everything here. I personally like the Colts to win this game.
Well,
I like the Colts to win this game. I even without JT. I know JT has not been a factor this year. I don't know that that's that big of a deal, and I think that they're going to get things squared away and move along. Plus, Russell Wilson, he just doesn't look like the same Russell Wilson. The Broncos look lost. Nate Zinger, or what's the guy's name? Buddy Hackett. What the hell's his name?
Nathaniel Hackett.
That's it. He's not doing a good job. So give me Indy in this game, and I'm going to take Matt Ryan to throw 2 touchdowns, and I'm going to have the Colts defense to score a touchdown. So there you go. That's my same game parlay. You can come up with your own if you don't want to build your own same game parlay. Choose one from the popular same game parlays pre-built for you in FanDuel's top-rated sportsbook app. However you play, you can bet the NFL on Thursday night with a no-sweat same-game parlay. Just sign up with promo code Randy1580 if you don't already have an account. That's Randy1580 on the FanDuel Sportsbook account. It's secure and easy to use, easy to download, and easy to get going. And when you win, you get paid fast. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 or older, present in Arizona. 3 legs minimum, $1 bet required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 7 days after you receive them. Max free bet $5. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342, Jeffco.
All right. Thank you, Randy. And of course, I asked people to tell me who's your coach and
Cliff
you want him fired.
Cliff Dingleberry's, and yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want Frank Reich fired. I hate to say it. I feel like mean saying it, but I do. We haven't heard from Keon.
Yeah, no. Ron Rivera. I'm not ready for Ron to be fired yet.
Really? Really, you're not?
See what I mean? Nice guy.
Not yet, just because
you really think that he's going to make a difference? 3 years now, Keon.
Yeah, I get
it's more than 3. He's been there since 2017, right?
It's not your fault, Keon.
Well, yeah, but it's 3 NFL seasons.
It's not your fault, Keon.
Oh, that's right. He had cancer.
But
you're not to blame for this downfall in the nation's capital.
I get that, but I want to see him
let go.
I want to see him. I want to see him ride out the season. If it doesn't happen,
see him ride out the storm, huh?
Yeah,
he wants him to tank.
His MO is that he starts slow, and then the team figures it out near the end, but not enough to actually make the playoffs.
3 seasons.
We'll see. But yeah, if it's bad and he tanks us,
just say no, Keon.
Get Will Levis.
Just say no.
It's not bad.
It's okay.
All right. Well, Keon might be on the fence. Randy and I are not. Let's see what people on the text line say. 888-368-1580. Who's your coach and do you want him fired? Tuck says Zach Taylor is my coach and no way. Baby Got Dak says Mike McCarthy should be fired. Heavy Metal Maniacs, another fan of the Dallas Cowboys, agrees. He says Mike McCarthy, so we can get Sean Payton. That's a lot of money right there. I don't care who you are or what you think about them Cowboys.
I gotta say though, the Cowboys are a team that's fun to watch because those players are out there just winning despite their coach. I'm not giving Mike McCarthy any credit for what this team has done. Those coordinators are doing a great job. And those players are doing a great job.
Yeah, man, that guy's microphone smells like mustard. Guaranteed. How about them Cowboys? Is what Heavy Metal Maniacs was trying to say. Pinocchio says Bill Belichick's my coach. Nope, don't fire him. Just make his son cut off that mullet if we lose the Lions.
What about give up that facial seizures that he has?
I don't think you can help that. There's no off switch for. No.
They went to him on the camera at the game, and they cut away quick because he was about to start working that tongue. He had that same look in his face.
Children watching.
Yeah, the director's like, cut. Cards Chappie says Cliff Kingsbury and send him on his way. Let's see here. Hefty Lefty says, if you need a safe addition to the parlay, Randy, I would go with Melvin Gordon to lose a fumble. Should write that down.
Yeah, I should put that in my parlay.
That is a thing that he's been doing a lot.
Thank you, Fourth Dimension, for always having my back. Thank you.
George is wondering why you don't have mine. Says, what did you do to Randy? He's jinxing your football team. I know, man. I don't.
What do you mean?
Personal. He really believes that, George.
I'm trying to support you, Jeffco.
Listen. No. I know. I understand that. George, I understand why it looks like a jinx. Here's the fact. I don't care. Doesn't matter. Colts are trash. Colts are trash this year. Wally the Bear says Luke Getsy, offensive coordinator for the Bears. Can't call plays. What are you trying to say? You want him fired? Is that what it is? I think that's what you're saying, Wally. Boomer Sooner says, mine is Sean McVay. And since you didn't say, we're going to assume you want him fired.
Naturally.
Kyle G says Matt LaFleur, but we'll keep him around. Last Optimist says Denver hired a guy whose only qualification was he sat in the same room as Aaron Rodgers. He needs to be the first to go.
Nathaniel Webster. What's his name? Buddy Hackett. What's his name again?
Nathaniel Hackett.
That's it.
Wally the Bear says absolutely he's just ruining Justin Fields. All right, so
he's killing him.
We were thinking head coach, but all right, I'll allow it. I will allow it. Baby Got Dak sent this earlier, and I have a feeling it might not be real. Just I have a feeling it's a picture of Giselle Bundchen, and it's on Florida and how it changed Tom Brady. She is quoted as saying this. This all started when we moved to Florida. It was like Tom became a different person the second we crossed state lines. His smooth olive skin turned into a chapped, stinging red leather. He started cutting off the sleeves on all his shirts. He goes to grocery stores shopping shirtless now. He applied a Salt Life sticker to our Land Rover. Salt Life. What does that even mean? I've asked so many people, but nobody actually knows. But everybody insists they're living it. I told Tom, it's Florida or your supermodel wife. And he looked at me, took off his shirt, and went to go buy something called a pub sub. He doesn't even eat bread. I have a feeling that's not really.
I think there's a shred of truth in there.
Yeah. I don't think so. No. It would be awesome if it was. If you have it on tape, I will play it.
The state of Florida has been known to do that to people.
Wally the Bear says defensive head coach responsibility. It's on Getsy. Get him out of there. 4 games in, don't care.
It's kind of on the general manager.
So Wally Bear, who would you rather have? BU from last year and his administration, or this season's terrible head coach and his administration?
I mean, I think the result is Justin Fields dies either way.
It sounds like you want to fire the ownership and give it to some other family.
I think Wally the Bear wants Sean Payton.
I mean, if I was a Bears fan, that's what I would be doing.
If the Colts get Sean Payton, if the Bears get Sean Payton, anything so that Sean Payton doesn't wind up on the Cowboys, that will make me personally happy.
I hope he does, because the Cowboys will be horrible in spite of the fact that Sean Payton's there.
Wally the Bear, when we said if he starts texting in, please, yes, he's almost orgasmic over here. He also says he agrees with Keon. 888-368-1580. I just I feel bad when I call for someone else's job. It's no fun when people call for our jobs. You know what I mean? And people have called for our jobs in the past. Not so much listeners. But occasionally other malcontent bastards in the building. So I know how it feels to get my job called for,
Yeah.
And, I don't know. Is it right that we're asking to, somebody else gets fired? I feel bad.
Look, we show up, we do the job, but unfortunately it doesn't have the kind of same effect that, an NFL team has on its community.
I think it has more. I think
if you're Cliff Kingsbury and you have this kind of dismal record and your team is not playing very well at all, I mean, wouldn't you show up and you'd almost have some understanding for people calling for his job? Wouldn't you? I mean, I would. I don't blame him. We're playing like crap right now. Why wouldn't they call for my job?
And of course, you get the 5-year extension, and people are rightfully going to look at what you have done this season and what you've done in the past. And they're going to ask, what have you actually done? You're coaching in a very results oriented business. And when you're in that place, in that space, that's going to be, the talk is the results matter more than anything else. Your process can be great, but if you don't get results within a certain window, guess what? You're out. And it's a cruel business, but before you become an NFL head coach.
These guys know this is a results-driven business.
There are plenty of guys who are talented enough to be college head coaches that stay in high school because they want to be with their family. They want to be able to play with their kids and not have to worry and obsess about coaching all the time, because if you don't win in college, you don't win in the NFL, you're out.
Well, all right. I think George is right. It is National Be Nice Day, so maybe we should stop talking about firing people. You know what I mean? There are some people that I think that desperately need to be fired, but we'll just go ahead and leave it there. I think we all know where it's at. As the kids say, we all know where it's at.
Is that
I
what
want
they say?
to briefly pay homage to a Canadian town and say to America, the hell, we should do better. Let me tell you why. There is this place called Cheadle in southern Alberta, Canada.
Okay.
And now they have something awesome. And I don't think we have it here in the United States. They have a 17-foot tall Cheeto statue. Again, yes, right. It's black and white because my color.
What the hell?
Yeah. They have these 3 fingers coming up out of the ground holding a giant Cheeto. Now, here's the thing about it. In color, you would see the fingers have orange Cheeto dust on them. And it's a very realistic looking thing.
They're these gray fingers, but the tips of the fingers have the Cheeto dust.
How have we failed? How have we failed, America, that we don't have this, and them damn Canadians have beat us to it? Now, of course, Cheetle is the name of the town, but Cheetle is the dust that it comes off the Cheetos, as has been declared by Cheetos themselves.
So
Cheetle's got a Cheetle.
They've named their entire town after the Cheeto dust?
No, it's the other way around, or just coincidental, but still, they got this giant statue. But we have a chance, America. This Cheeto statue will only be up until November 4th. I want to buy it and bring it to the United States.
What?
And I want to put it right here in Arizona somewhere. Maybe, they got that. They've been working on that damn fountain in our courtyard.
You're exactly
like 3 years
the
now.
same thing, Jeffrey. Right outside the palatial estates here at CRC Broadcasting.
I'm not even going to ask. Going to bulldoze that piece of crap metal thing they've been working on and drop a 17-foot tall hand-holding Cheeto thing right there.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the move of the day right there.
Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Guys, are you getting up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? As we get older, so do our prostates, and that can mean urinary problems that affect our sleep and quality of life. Life is better outside the bathroom. Real Health's Prostate Complete can help you relieve those annoying and painful prostate symptoms. Available at Walmart or visit realhealth.com for more information and to order yours today. Try it risk-free with our 120-day money-back guarantee. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease.
The NASCAR season will come to an end in Phoenix, but the championship weekend will last forever.
The greatest are the ones that seize the moment.
4 championship races in 3 days, all set against the stunning backdrop of the desert mountains. Night racing, a doubleheader, and a Cup Series champion crowned on Sunday. It's a weekend you'll wish would never end. The NASCAR championship weekend at Phoenix Raceway, November 4th through the 6th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we teach the tools, rules, and strategies that professionals use to outperform in the markets. Having those skills has never been more important than it is in our current economy. These are times that history teaches us that the masses are impoverished while the few making the right moves are gaining generational type wealth. At Online Trading Academy, we teach people just like you how to make the same moves at the same time as Wall Street elites. And right now, we have an end of summer special. Join us for an intensive 3-day market timing course covering the best of the trading and investing strategies of our time. Text us now and register for the course at 66% off the normal $299 price. Text $99 to 25029 and get this class for just $99. Again, that's $99 to 25029.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from the Main Event here on 1580 The Fanatic. We get you geared up for Week 5 in the NFL. Cardinals practice updates, injuries, and we take you around the NFL. ASU has 21 ranked Washington in town Saturday. All the updates coming out of ASU. Major League Baseball season coming to a close. Playoff information and get you what you need to know and ready for the playoffs. So join me, Stephen McCollum, on the Main Event, Monday through Friday, noon to 2 p.m. here on 1580, 99.3 FM, The Fanatic.
Don't let your kids get fooled by the people they meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but those strangers are using their relationship to deal drugs to your kids. If you think tiny pills can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Find resources at talknowaz.com. Don't let your kids get fooled. Talk to them and visit talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K2.1 Rolling Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. I may have had too many M&Ms during the break. It's affecting me, Randy. Too much. Too many M&Ms. I took too big a handful.
Yeah.
Like
That's happened to me
Icarus.
before. Yeah.
I went too close to the sugar sun, and now
Yeah.
I'm like,
Grab onto
Yeah.
my hand, my friend, and we will carry on.
I am fine. So we were talking before that there's this town called Cheadle, and it is in southern Alberta. And they responded to the Cheetos people saying that Cheadle dust, it's a different spelling, but it's the dust that sticks to your fingers when you eat the Cheetos. They named it Cheetle, and so they, I guess, put up this, I guess, it's hard to explain on the radio, but it's like 3 fingers holding the one giant Cheeto and coming up out of the ground. And it's all painted up to look like an actual Cheeto, and you can actually see the Cheetle dust on the fingers. What I don't understand is you go through the trouble of putting up a 17-foot statue.
Yeah.
Why would you ever take it down?
Well, I wouldn't.
Why would you ever take it down? I imagine that they got the clearance for this. Like, well, this is going to be something that's going to get us some attention. Maybe, people will start noticing Cheadle, Alberta.
Yeah.
But once you take the damn statue down, nobody gives a crap about your town. Nobody wants to go there. So I'm just saying that thing deserves a home, a permanent home.
Does it go up once a year, or is it just a one-time thing?
No, this is a brand new one-time thing. And I don't understand. Now, there's only 83 people who live there. And that since COVID killed off some people. It used to be 109. But 83 people live there now. And there's no reason to take it down. But listen, their stupidity is our bonus. Keon, I need you to look that up. I need you to find out who owns that, and let's get in touch. I want that thing in our courtyard. And I'm not even asking the building management. We're just going to put it right there in the courtyard.
Absolutely.
It's just, it has to happen. We can't let the Canadians have something like this and then have nothing like it. And if I can't get my hands on this, if they're like, no, we will not let go of our Cheeto statue, then I need somebody in this listening audience to step up and help us build our own.
Yes.
Are we not Americans? Can we not do better when it comes to fast food statues than the shifty Canadians? Just saying. Wally Bear reminds us, by the way, it's not just Be Nice Day. It's not just, Teachers Day. It's also Yom Kippur. That's right. That's right. I thought when did it start? I thought did it start Monday, or does that start today? It's never on the same day. And this one caught me by surprise. So happy Yom Kippur, or I don't know if happy is the right way to put it, but it's Yom Kippur. Hello.
And Yom Kippur started Tuesday.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. This just came in. Remember I just said, I maybe ate too many M&Ms.
Yes.
Look at that. Look at that. How many? That is huge.
Oh boy.
That is 2 pounds, 6 ounces of M&Ms. Little girl just brought this to me.
Standard M&Ms. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, it was funny because little girl and the wife were out, and I said, "Hey, can you guys give me some M&Ms?" My wife comes back with this packet, this little one,
Yeah.
And the little girl told her, "Hey, I don't think he's going to be happy with that little bag." And she says, my wife is like, no, he'll be fine. He'll be happy just to get the M&Ms. And, so they had a $5 bet. They had a $5 bet. Little girl's like, no, he's going to say something. And she won the $5 bet because my wife hands this to me. And I was like, thank you. I'm very happy to have these. But next time, could you get me a bigger one? Because I then transfer the M&Ms into a container like this, So I wasn't ungrateful, but I did mention it. And I said it shouldn't count because I wasn't ungrateful or like, what the hell is this? Why would you give me this little pack of M&Ms? This is what I want, the 2.5 pound thing.
Right.
I didn't do that. I was just very nice and saying thank you for this. But my wife's like, no, you just mentioned it at all. So the little girl gets the $5. And I think in her losing that bet, my wife may never bring me M&Ms again after this.
Oh, I doubt that. I think
So
she's learned a valuable lesson.
I got to count on a little girl to get me a big ass bag like this. Gotta be nicer to her. 888-368-1580. Chief Skull says, afternoon, gentlemen. Just heading home from the office. Wondered if there was a discussion about the walleye tournament controversy in Ohio, where those fishermen got busted for putting in sinkers and other fish. So these fish weighed more to win a grand prize of $30,000. We haven't really gotten around to that. It's just sort of a Jerry Springer moment that you see on video. This one fisherman's like, there's lead weights in these fish. And well, yeah, they did. They big lead weights that you would think after it was over, if somebody filleted it, they'd find, oh, these people are cheating, right? And they're like, well, we got the check. You know, they probably cashed it as fast as they could. But it just seemed a little Jerry Springer for us. But yes, it's a true thing. They shoved lead weights in there, plus fillets of other fish to just sort of try to hide it, I guess.
Oh, I followed that whole thing. It was very funny because these people apparently have won multiple of these competitions. It's not just the one.
No.
So now it calls into question.
Somebody call the police. Can the police? Do they have a jurisdiction over a fishing contest?
I don't know. But all I know is I was reading all of the comments and people were distraught. Oh, it's a sad day in the walleye slam when you can't even trust the winners of a fishing tournament. It was so dramatic. I had
$1,000.
I had a good laugh there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's not a sport. Fishing is not a sport. They no, I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't call fishing a sport. Like, oh, we're sport fishing. No sport. You're fishing. Okay. It's not a sport. You fish for the fun of it. Well, you're having fun. The fish aren't. Because if you catch and release, that fish is effed up. He's like, I don't know what the hell just happened. You know, it's like humans who just got pulled up by aliens and probed. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that kind of catch and release, that's fun for the human. Now, the other thing, catch and eat this thing, makes more sense, and I believe is better for the fish, because that, I knew it was going to happen eventually. You know, they come to terms with it. I think psychologically, a fish would rather be eaten after caught than let go. I'm just saying. I could be wrong because I'm not a fish. I might be trying to justify eating the fish that I catch rather than letting them go. That's none of your business. The point is, it's not a sport. It's just not a sport. Because if you're chumming the water, trying to catch fish, I got the biggest fish. There's so much luck involved with that. It doesn't seem like a sport to me. So, no. Jeffrey says, Bruno Baller, would shark wrestling be a sport?
Shark wrestling?
No, but I'd watch the hell out of it. That doesn't even make sense, man. Boomer Sooner is telling me not to read something. Okay.
Don't read this.
Oh, because he went back and read the word salad that it turned into. You want to take another shot at that, man? The Jet says, I only had hopes for one coach getting fired this year, and that was Scott Frost with Nebraska, and it happened. So,
so there you go.
Congratulations. Right. Hefty Lefty wants to know if Don Cheadle will have the honorary key to the city of Cheadle, Alberta.
Don Cheadle
has the statue of Cheadles. That would make sense.
It would make a ton of sense.
There's no parade. There's only 83 people. So, yeah, give him the key to the city and make it an actual key so he can just, I don't know, go in the and town hall if he wants to.
By the way, the Frito-Lay Corporation owns the Cheeto statue.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Well, how
they got it? They got it commissioned.
Can you reach out to Frito-Lay and tell them we'd like to keep it here? Can you do that for? Can just go ahead and make the handshake, and if I got to pull out my wallet, I will.
All right.
If I don't have to, I don't want to. So see, let's see if we can get that thing here.
I'll ask around.
Last Optimist says, curious if any of them fishermen ever tried to get noodling for sharks to be a thing. Well, first, I don't think sharks bury themselves in muddy holes, but I like your thinking. I do. I like your thinking. Yeah. I don't know, Randy. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think fishing should be considered a sport?
Fishing's not a sport, man. Come on.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fisherman. I love fishing.
Yeah. Fishing is fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun thing to do, and you should eat them if you catch them. And
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're not, you let
Release.
them go respectably.
And you can compete with your friends if you'd like. But
Sure. But you've been sitting next to somebody on a dock or on the back of a boat or wherever you fish. The guy next to you is catching fish after fish. You're both using the same bait, the same lure, the same bobber, the same whatever, same gear. It's just a crapshoot.
Well,
you can't make a sport out of that.
They do have a competition, professional bass anglers or something that I forget what it is, where these guys go to different lakes around the country. They have sponsors. They get paid really well to do this. They go out, but getting the prize is not the biggest fish. It's the most poundage. How many pounds of fish do you catch over a, set period of time?
It's not a sport. Competition. Not a sport.
I would say it's not a sport. It's fishing. It's an event. It's an activity.
Yeah. Bruno Ballard phrases it pretty nice. He says fishing might be considered a recreational activity.
Yeah.
And it's also survival for some people. Some people,
definitely
it's
survival.
their job, but sports, no. I'm sorry. I can't get on board with that. Can't get on board. Earlier in the show, we did talk about how in fantasy football, if you look at your league, the points for, points against, it is so close straight across the entire league. And this repeats itself, not just in the Premier League, but across all the different leagues. I don't know. There might be one where it's not like that, but and then I see this, and now it starts to make sense. 15 of 16 games this week were within one score in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
That is a record.
Wow.
Nobody's just blowing anybody out this week. The first week, though, people are getting blown out left and right.
Oh, yeah. And sometimes not the team you'd expect.
I don't know if this has a connection to what's happening in the fantasy football, but it is worth noting at least for the first time ever, 15 games in a single week of NFL were close in the fourth quarter. That's good football if you think about it. That's exciting. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's also probably a nightmare for gamblers and sports books. Like we said, last week was the first week that the book lost and the bettors won, which I'm all for. So, this is a different kind of year. I know we say that sometimes. And you're like, you said that last year.
The last two seasons in particular, have been crazier than usual, and this year is crazier than last year.
I think it's because of Joe Biden.
Is that
it wasn't
what you're
like
saying?
this before he was in office. It could be COVID fog. I don't know. We can blame Biden. We can blame Fauci. I don't care who the hell you want to blame. It's kind of damn weird. And it's just one of those things. Nobody to blame. This is a different kind of season. That's all I'm going to say. Are you guys ready for a new segment I want to start?
Sure.
If a tree falls in the forest. That's the name of the segment.
It's a cool segment name. What
tree falls in the forest? Okay.
Got any music for that?
If a tree falls.
I guess I should have brought this up before the show.
Yeah, probably.
Well, here it is. If a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound?
Yeah.
And if Blake Bortles retires, does it make a sound? If Cole Beasley retires, does it make a sound? The answer? No, it doesn't. It just doesn't. Cole Beasley retired from football after spending a week with Tom Brady. Well, maybe I think he knows what it's like to be Giselle then. And then Blake Bortles, he retires after, just sort of hanging around longer than anyone thought he would. In fact, did you know he was still here? I didn't know he was still here.
No, that was it. My entire train of thought went, wait, Blake Bortles is retiring? Wait, he was still playing? I wasn't even aware he was still playing.
He went
football.
about it quietly.
All right, here's the question. What was the last team he was on?
Oh, I couldn't tell you that.
The Patriots.
I don't know, Rams, somewhere buried on the practice squad. I don't know.
The Jacksonville Jaguars. That was his last team.
That was his last team. He never left.
Yeah. I think he was there, came back or something, but that's where it ended.
Blake Bortles has one of the strangest careers in that he's a top 5 pick. He's a guy that went to an AFC title game. He was one half of football away from beating Tom Brady and going to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And now his career's over. Just done.
So if a tree falls in a forest, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. And nobody cares about Weasley Beasley. Nobody cares.
It's only funny that he was not playing football, came back for 2 weeks, and now he's retiring.
Yeah, I'm out. Yeah, this TB12 stuff is garbage. Big George says the key words here, Jeffrey, are if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's around, does it make a sound? You know what? You stick to your lawyering. You let me do the show. Last Optimist says maybe the I'm a Lumberjack and I'm Okay song from Monty Python.
I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay.
I don't know what you're connecting that to. Dr. Danger says, you know what they say, feed a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish and he'll drink beer and float around in a boat all day.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with that, Dr. Danger. And by the way, Dr. Danger, you don't have to tell me you're Dr. Danger at the beginning of your text. You're in the system, just so you know. Boomer Sooner says, did anybody see Biden down there in Florida today? Was he cheating in a fishing competition too?
What was he doing? Getting a pub sub?
Ooh, maybe we just get Biden and Trump into a fishing competition. See who wins. Settle our differences that way.
Wow.
Cabana says, hey, look at this. It's a 2.5 pound walleye he caught. He says, good eating. That fish don't look right. That fish looks like it has teeth. I don't know if I'd eat that, man. Jagdog says 60 East, right? 2 lanes closed starting east of Mill Avenue exit. So a little bit of a bog down for traffic if you're going down. By the way, if you're using the US 60, oh God, have mercy on your soul. What a mess that is lately.
Yeah.
And it's going to get worse. They're still working on fixing stuff. You know, that's a very old freeway, and bridges are falling over as you drive on them. A couple of people have almost not made it home. So you got to be careful, Jack Dog. Let's take a break. When we come back, I got some injuries for you and some other NFL stuff. It's Daily oh my God.
The Daily Affliction.
Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Too much sugar.
This is Brent Musburger's action update for Arizona's new home for sports, The Fanatic. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Looking at some top 25 college football matchups on Saturday, number 19 Kansas hosting TCU. The Horned Frogs a 7-point road favorite, minus 275. Kansas plus 220, over under 68.5. Number 25 LSU hosting number 8 Tennessee. The Volunteers a 3-point road favorite, minus 150. The Tigers at home in Baton Rouge plus 125, over under 64.5. One other top 25 game in the Pac-12, number 11 Utah taking on number 18 UCLA. Utah 3.5-point favorite, over under 64.5. Red hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwiners.com. Save 75% when you use the promo code ACTION75. Experts.winnersandwiners.com. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
2000, 2008, 2022. When it comes to the economy, those are some scary years. .com crash, housing crash, and the roller coaster we're going through right now. It's a dangerous time to not know your numbers. But over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting. Manage risk, get reliable forecasts, improve margins. Everything you need all in one place. So, how do you prepare for uncertain times? The answer, NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes, and easily see where to save money. That's why 93% of customers say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. What are you waiting for? NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/radar. netsuite.com/radar.
Arizonans are facing big challenges these days. Rising costs at the grocery store, the gas pump, and the pharmacy. That's why Mark Kelly is doing whatever it takes in Washington to bring down costs, even when it means standing up to his own party. The son of 2 police officers, Mark grew up in a house where money was tight. He knows what it means for Arizonans when everyday items cost more. Thanks to Mark Kelly's work, Medicare will finally negotiate down prescription drug prices. Less money spent at the pharmacy means more money stays in your pocket. Mark is leading the effort to cut red tape for truckers and ease supply chain issues. And he's pushing for more domestic oil production to bring down gas prices. Because Mark knows that for a lot of people, every little bit counts right now. Senator Mark Kelly, looking out for Arizona, fighting for us.
I'm Mark Kelly, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mark Kelly for Senate.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Remember last year when you wanted to hear that NFL matchup, but you couldn't because you were at your nephew's birthday party and the Fanatic couldn't stream the NFL on their app? Didn't that suck?
Well, those days are over, pal. Now you can listen live to every primetime NFL game on the Fanatic app. Download the app now at the Google Play Store or the App Store, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
David Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and I don't know if you saw what I tweeted out for you, Keon, earlier today. You need to take a look at it. Radio Pal 1580 is my Twitter, and I said, gonna need you to explain the hell is going on with your Commandos in this play. Randy, I tweeted you too so you could see this, so check it out. It's during a play with the Cowboys there. You got number 90 is on this one guy. 88 is on another guy. But 68 and 72, both of them Commandos on each other. You have to see this, man. It's like they're blocking each other, like they forgot which team they were on. How in the hell does that happen? Yeah, so I need you to explain that to me. I need answers. So while you find that, let's see. Boomer Sooner says he wants to send me a picture of his nephew's walleye he caught in Idaho on the Snake River. He says 7 feet long. Wow. Last Optimist says the real top Florida news story of the day is SpaceX sent another group of astronauts to the ISS this morning. They made it? Yeah, every time they send people up in one of Elon Musk's rockets, I think, well, that's the end of them. I'm sorry, I'm not that confident. I mean, I was worried about William Shatner and the penis rocket when the little bald fella sent them up. But, that stuff makes me nervous. Hefty Lefty says Trump would scare away all the fish due to his nonstop yelling about random stuff, and all the fish would gather around Biden's boat. Joe wouldn't catch anything, though, because, he'd be probably asleep in 2 meters there, 2 minutes after he pushed off from the dock. Yeah, you're right. It'd be the worst fishing competition ever. Baker's Cocky Hen says, sounds like Washington was caught with their pants down. Maybe they're colorblind or something. All right, did you see the picture I'm talking about?
Yeah, I saw the picture.
Oh, yeah.
They're wearing black, so it can't be colorblindness.
Yeah, that's a good point. This is just like the worst thing I've
one
seen.
Color. Yeah, it just looks like they were, I don't know. I don't know what happened. The still image does not tell me, and I don't remember the play. That caused Charles Leno and Andrew Norwell, the left guard and left tackle, to run into each other. I don't know.
Their hands are in a position where it looks like they're actually working against
Charles
each other.
Leno intended to block.
Oh no, you don't.
Norwell from who I don't know. They're both the offensive line, but that might explain why Carson was dying. So there's that.
So you can take a look at that at Radio Pal 1580. I thought you might have an answer, but I guess there are no answers.
How can there be answers when this is something that is happening in the third year of a coach's tenure? And it's not just any coach. Like, the reason why it's disappointing, especially, is the same reason why Herm was kind of disappointing at ASU. Here's a guy who's supposed to be a disciplinarian. He's supposed to, if nothing else, may not win every game, but everyone's going to show up and do their job. And here you have two guys not doing their job at all, or not doing it even remotely correctly. That's not good for Ron Rivera.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, well, maybe Riverboat Ron had money on the other team and he requested maybe these guys block each other. That is a very plausible idea, except for I don't think Riverboat Ron would do that. There is no reason, but if you want to see it, go to @RadioPal1580. If you want to see stuff that Randy puts up every now and then, go find him at Radio Randy 777. And then, of course, for Keon, Sports Cloud 1580. Oh, yeah. And by the way, for the radio station at 1580 The Fanatic. So there you go. Those are our Twitters. Now go follow us, damn it. Hefty Lefty says, at least it wasn't as bad as those Gator players blocking each other 15 yards down the field.
So that I don't even know how that happened either. Yeah, there was a couple of Florida players that ran into each other downfield, which it'd be nice if you could help spring a block or whatever, not block your guy.
Mm-hmm.
That happened to Florida.
I'm just perplexed. I don't know how this happens.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know how do your left tackle and left guard usually run into each other? I'm looking at the picture and it makes no sense. And the longer I look at it, the more confused I get.
That's what I'm saying. The hell's going on? Last Optimist says Elon Musk keeps making changes to his rockets until they stop exploding. NASA doesn't make any changes till they start exploding. Okay, fair enough, but it still makes me nervous. All right, let's do a little injury report. We've already told you that Jonathan Taylor is out for Thursday night's game against the Broncos. Shaquille Leonard also out. Julian Blackmon has got an ankle issue. He's out. Tyquan Lewis out. A whole lot of my damn defense is out, but you want me to think that they have a chance against the Broncos? I don't know. We'll see if Russell Wilson is out. If you're a Giants fan, I'm sorry, but maybe this is good news. Maybe this is bad news, but Daniel Jones has been able to practice and says his ankle feels good. So you will at least have somebody other than Saquon Barkley as a quarterback for your game this week. Kenny Golladay turns out has an MCL sprain and he will not be going to London with the Giants. Does anybody have him in fantasy football anymore? Because I haven't seen him do anything in forever. He only had 2 catches for 22 yards in the first game of the season. After that, hasn't caught one single ball.
Yeah, he's a deep threat on a team with a bad offensive line and bad quarterback play. He'll have days where he can go off, but more days off than not. He's going to be pedestrian.
Yeah. Let's see. Remember the Vikings player, Lewis Cine? How do you say that guy's name? Cine. Cine. Yeah. Well, he's a surgery. He had to stay in London because they didn't want him flying with a fractured ankle. Well, it's a compound fracture. They went ahead and did some surgery on him there, and they say it was a success. So there you go. Let's see. Cameron Brate. So you almost think that now it's going to take something more serious to get the NFL to be serious about some things. They had spotters, that watch. And we were all saying, what the hell were the spotters when Tua was stumbling around like Randy after closing time? You know what I mean? You should have said, hey, I think I spot a guy who shouldn't be on the field. Well, the spotters for the NFL said, well, Cameron Brate got hit in the shoulder, not in the head.
Oh, where have we heard that before? Yeah.
But he now confirmedly has a concussion. We saw his head clearly collide with Chris Godwin's chest. They need to fire some spotters as much as they need to fire that neurologist. I mean, how do you do the spotters have binoculars? Did they have them around backwards? How did you see that play and not immediately call down and say, oh yeah, we got to get him in the tent?
I think there's a little bit, they're supposed to be independent, but I just get the feeling just from the fact that this has now happened with a second team that there may be some yes manning going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's going to last because the NFLPA is coming.
Yes, Manning. You mean the Mannings are involved in this?
Yes, I blame both Manning brothers for what happened,
and Cooper, quite frankly.
No, Cooper's a saint. You take that back.
Wow.
Well, you know what? Since his son is committed to Texas, I will actually take that back.
Thank you. That's all I'm asking.
But yeah, I just think there's some spotters over there. Maybe get a little too comfortable in the organization and don't mind bending the rules a little bit to help the team out. The problem is you have a guy in Tua that almost died, and Cameron Brate. Any concussion that goes untreated could actually lead to death. So what these guys are doing is either their job's wrong, which could get somebody killed, or they are actually in cahoots with the team, which could still get somebody killed. So they're in a space right now that they better figure out their stories.
Yeah, the NFL is complicit in CYA for the teams and the whole chain of command when it comes to trying to protect the players in these situations. It's a rough sport. Even Tom Brady's like, hey, concussions happens in boxing, happens in football. Absolutely right. And that is the way it's going to be until they come up with some better equipment or some other ideas. The point isn't will concussions happen? Yes, they're absolutely going to happen. It's understood by the players. It's understood by everybody involved in this process. But where it becomes a problem is when it occurs and you don't do right by the person who just took that bullet. So, so the spotters not catching Cameron Brate we watching TV, we're like, oh no, that guy's totally, look at his eyes. Totally got a concussion. Why is he going back out there? What the hell's going on? Luckily, they caught it, I guess was at halftime. They're like, oh no, this dude's got a concussion. Probably because he's sitting there going, I don't feel good. That's probably what happened. So he did not go back out. So they got to get better at this. And if they can't get better at this, there needs to be some sort of other oversight. Something needs to happen here.
I just happen to think that we have this whole system where we've got a replay center in New York. Why not have part of that center just deal with concussions, and take it away from these teams and take it away from guys in the building? Because even if they're not in cahoots with the teams, these spotters, you still have people who are in a stadium affected by crowd noise. We know it affects referees and officials. Why wouldn't it affect those spotters too? And what they saw and what they thought they saw? Send that to New York, let them sort it out, and just send the word back to the team. He's concussed. He's done.
Yeah. We got to get better at it. Purple Nurple texted in. I missed this in the last hour. Says, hey guys, I'm back from the abyss. Finally got working speakers in my car. So Sean Payton, he knows how to coach. Don't get me wrong, but let us not forget how his mouth always looks like a specific type of sphincter. No, you're not wrong. He's not wrong about that.
As opposed to all the different kinds.
No, it's very specific. He's right. It is very specific right there. Dr. Danger, seeing the picture of two Commandos players blocking each other, says Commandos just didn't want to anger their opponents. They've even started punting on third down just to be safe. Sounds like a Commandos thing. Baker's Cocky Hen says Texas and Oklahoma this weekend. Only Big 12 game with no one ranked this weekend. Who's winning that one, Keon? Texas and Oklahoma.
Well, if Quinn Ewers is good to go, I'm going to take Texas. I wanted to believe more in what Brent Venables is going to do in that Oklahoma defense, and I think it's still the changes are on their way. Like he's going to fix that defense, but it's not fixed yet. And if you throw the ball over the top of Oklahoma, as TCU did, you will have success. But if Hudson Card is playing for Texas, he can't throw the ball over the top of anybody. So it really just depends on which quarterback is playing for Texas. I hope it's Quinn Ewers. The doctors say Quinn Ewers is on track for it. So I'm gonna go Texas.
Hefty Lefty says Wilson is 100% playing tomorrow. No injury designation after today on the rap sheet. They kept him limited in practice the last 3 days, though. And I still don't know how to pick this game. I really don't. Even my defense without certain people has played very well. My offense is ridiculously stupid. If we don't have Jonathan Taylor, I don't like the Colts' chances, but the Broncos ain't that good either. I won't have a pick for you on this and probably till tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not going to just say just yet, but would you guys say, who do you think is going to win this game based on how things seem to be right now?
Are
you leaning somewhere?
I'm leaning towards Denver. Just if the Colts don't have Jonathan Taylor, that's the release valve of the pressure that's supposed to be coming Matt Ryan's way, and he hasn't handled the pressure very well. So without Jonathan Taylor, I'm leaning Broncos.
Yeah, Randy, you were leaning towards Colts, but now with all these injuries, you got to be leaning maybe another way.
No, I'm still leaning Colts, and I don't think it's a big issue that Jonathan Taylor is not playing because again, it's been 4 games. He has yet to have a 100-yard game.
A part of that is I don't think he's been healthy this whole time.
And that might be, but what I'm trying to say is the offense has not relied on Jonathan Taylor being the bell cow out of the backfield to chew up yards.
Man, Baker's cocky hens, that's very hurtful. He says Hackett versus Reich, the next Belichick versus Reed.
That's very mean.
It's the hot seat bowl is what this is. Dear Lord. Hey, by the way, people are making a lot of hay about Odell Beckham Jr. Visiting the Giants. Can I just remind you guys, he wasn't there to try out. He wasn't there to talk business. He was there visiting some injured players, some friends of his. He was just visiting. I don't know what the current situation is with Odell Beckham Jr. as far as if he's healthy or ready to play even. But one thing I do know, he ain't going to the Giants. He will not go to the Giants, and he's even said about the Rams, he's like, I'm not looking to go backwards. I'm looking to go forwards. So he's got to be thinking about, okay, once I'm healthy, I'll consider whoever the Super Bowl teams might be. You know what I'm saying? He's looking to be on a contender. Now, I personally don't feel like you should have the say, like, oh, he's so good, he gets to say, I'm going there.
Well, if you're a free agent, why not?
No, what I mean is I don't think I don't think he has it anymore to be able to call his shot that way. I wonder if the GMs and the teams are going to be looking at him the same way I am, saying, thanks, Odell, but yeah, we're good.
I think he still got it.
You think so?
Last year in the playoffs, he looked like Odell, like the old Odell. And in the Super Bowl, before he got hurt, he was doing damage for that Bengals defense.
Yeah, and I think the key is if the offensive coordinators know how to use him, and it's a contending team. See, in Los Angeles, Sean McVay knew how to use Odell Beckham Jr. It's not the deep threat anymore. It's the guy that can run that creative pattern and get open and give you those yards when you absolutely need them. And I think that's the way he's got to be thinking going forward when he goes to a team. If it's whoever it is, Buffalo or, Tampa Bay or whoever happens to pick him up as they go down the playoff stretch, they've got to know how to use him.
Yeah, I feel like he's more likely to go to Buffalo than he is to the Buccaneers because I think the time for jumping on the Tom Brady bandwagon was in the past. I don't know if it's this year. And he's looking at, the Bills as, look at that quarterback. Yeah. He's amazing. He might be the MVP. Oh, that's a guy I could help him out.
And he
needs the help.
And he joined the Rams and number 2 right behind Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
So if you go to Buffalo, Stephon Diggs is up there to occupying space. They got Gabe Davis as their number 2. You can slide right in. You don't have the pressure of being the number 1 wide receiver. And Von Miller says that he calls Odell every week. So he's recruiting very hard.
G Skull says Odell thinks he's LeBron. Oh, he's taking his talents too. Big George says, Randy, stop jinxing Jeffrey's Colts. Your compliments on the Colts is making him uncomfortable. His compliments do not make me uncomfortable. I don't think anything can overcome how bad my team is this year.
Yeah.
Hefty Lefty says this game is going to end up being 17-13, 2 of the worst 4 scoring offenses. In the league so far. Yeah. We had a week we didn't get nothing. We got a big old goose egg. I don't think the Broncos have been zilched, have they?
They have not been zilched, but they've had a game that they won where they scored 11 points, the game against the Niners.
They played better teams than the Colts have.
They beat the Texans and scored 16 points. They lost to the Seahawks and scored 16 points. So only that game against Vegas where they lost 32-23 have they actually looked like a respectable NFL franchise.
I don't even know what to think, but I'm still thinking I'll probably go with the Broncos, not as a self-hating Colts fan. Just I'm trying to get some picks, man. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. We have On This Day in Big George's sports history and other assorted things. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
There's no doubt that Harman Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for zero down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harman Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-306-8158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-306-8158. That's 800-306-8158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-306-8158. Again, 800-306-8158.
Go into Ben Bridge and ask to speak to a bridge. They aren't there. Shane Company, no one named Shane there. Robbins Brothers has been owned by a VC firm for years. Jared, that name came from a focus group. Hi, Diamond Dave Cantor, the only wholesale fourth generation diamond importer, GI graduate that you can actually meet in person. At Desert Wholesale Diamond, I'm importing the diamonds, designing and coordinating the custom rings, and I'm here. Deal with a full bore retail store. You're paying their huge overhead, their shareholder profit, and multiple mid-level managers. Buying a diamond is a major life moment purchase. You should be dealing with the source, and I'm it. We're in a professional office building to give you the one-on-one service a purchase like this deserves. I'm connected to the largest diamond cutters in the world, cutting out all the layers that add to the price of a diamond.
Call 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow Dave on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
NASCAR Championship weekend is back at Phoenix Raceway. Drivers will put it all on the line to claim NASCAR greatness. The Truck Series Championship kicked things off Friday night under the lights. We're going to tear it up tonight. Followed by an action-packed Saturday, where fans will witness an ARCA and Xfinity Series Championship doubleheader. Yes! Don't miss out on the action November 4th and 5th. Get your tickets now for NASCAR Championship weekend at PhoenixRaceway.com or call 866-408-RACE.
So, what's your favorite thing about sports? The excitement, the action, or the 5-meat pizza and the 6-pack?
Bingo.
That's what we thought. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Danny Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and let me give you the rundown on all the NFL and other football fun we have for the listening audience here on the big radio station. Thursday night, tomorrow night, Colts at Broncos at 4:30 p.m. Hooray! Friday is Liberty taking on Basha for high school football, 7 p.m. Saturday at noon, Auburn takes on Georgia. Sunday, we got 3 games. We got the London game at 6 a.m., Giants and Packers. We got Steelers at Bills at 9:30 a.m., and then Bengals at Ravens at 4:30 p.m. And then Monday Night Football will be the Raiders at the Chiefs. Now, I feel like the Chiefs could handle their business pretty well, but is it a rivalry game? Kind of. I think the Raiders hate the Chiefs, but I don't know if the Chiefs see the Raiders the same way.
Oh, I think they do. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the fan bases do. I think in the Patrick Mahomes era, Patrick Mahomes has not had very many reasons to be afraid of the Raiders.
Okay. Well, anyway, that is what is happening as far as the football fun and the play-by-play here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Wasn't it? I know it was a different coach, but wasn't it the Raiders who took their bus around Arrowhead after the victory? And then the Chiefs came to the Death Star and did the same thing, took their bus around, kind of a victory lap. So that's a rivalry. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, then that means Monday Night Football might be fun. So
I think so. Yeah.
But I think we all know which way we're going to pick on that one.
We do, but at least the Raiders showed that they have a pulse against the
purple and gold. That's the way I'm going.
Defense. So
what? That doesn't make any sense. Let me tell you though. We will have our NFL fan pick'em picks tomorrow at 3 p.m. I haven't checked with Ralph yet. I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't been on here every day crowing about beating me at the fantasy football by 6 points this week.
He's been in Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's his punishment. Well, we're going to do our picks in the 3 o'clock hour, and then Rosalie Michaels will join us at 4 p.m. to answer all your fantasy football questions heading into week 5 of the NFL. Last Optimist says, my Chiefs fan brother-in-law from Pennsylvania hates the Raiders almost as much as he hates the Steelers.
Wow.
All right. Fair enough. So who's a rival of the Cardinals? Is it the Seahawks? Is that the biggest rival?
Sea Chickens, Rams. Yeah. 49ers.
Yeah, well, which one do you think is the biggest rival for you guys?
I don't know. Maybe because I'm not, for me, it's the Sea Chickens. I just hate this damn Sea Chickens.
Yeah. Hey, if you're a Cardinal fan listening, who do you feel is the biggest rival? Is it the Sea Chickens or is it the Rams? For the Commandos, it's got to be Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
Or at least your hatred there lies.
Cowboys 1 and Giants 2. Yeah.
For the Colts,
Jacksonville.
we hate the Patriots a lot.
Yeah, it's like you've run more into the Patriots more in games that matter than Jacksonville or Houston.
We're just embarrassed by Jacksonville.
You gotta hate the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, I hate myself for what we let them do to us. But I'm not really feeling like rivalry on that. So for Colts, I think it's just a little bit of a hatred for the Patriots. But
you don't feel anything about the Titans?
You know what? Either they beat us or we beat them, but I don't feel rivalry there. You know, I don't feel like there's been anything there that's been under my skin. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're either better than they are, or they're better than we are. It's just a fact. They're in the division. Got to play them. But I don't feel an emotional thing about it. Maybe other Colts fans do, but I don't. Last Optimist says, I care more about defeating the Sea Chickens than any of the other division opponents, but I get the impression the Sea Chickens don't care about the Cardinals, and well, they only really want to beat the Rams. The Sea Chickens should, because there have been some great matchups between the Cardinals and the Seahawks, and it's gone both ways. So I think maybe you're not giving them enough credit, Last Optimist. Stockton Slap says, the Cards' biggest rival, greatness. Oh, God.
How true.
That loosens
very
some
hurtful.
teeth.
How
Yeah,
true.
right there. Big George says pre-2007, the Cardinals' biggest rival was the Dallas Cowboys because they were in the same division. Then the 49ers. Now it's the Sea Chickens and the 49ers. Rams quickly catching up, though. You have to have a rival. You can't just sort of rotate rivals.
Well, it's
can you?
not that you rotate, but sometimes two teams end up being they end up going against each other more often. Especially if the top two teams in the division change from time to time.
Let me show you how you're wrong. Quick. What was the rival for your high school?
For my high school, Reagan, the
Randy. What was
Reagan
the
High School?
Maryvale High School.
Yeah, Mountain View High School. It was Mesa High Jackrabbits. Boom. See how quick that was? If you're sitting there looking at the Cardinals going, oh, yeah, the 49, oh, maybe the Rams. Oh, there's no rivalries there. There's no real solid rivalry. But the visceral response we got from Randy about the Seahawks. All right, now you got something.
Sea
Now you got
Chickens.
something.
Can't stand the damn Sea Chickens.
Like in the NFC East, everybody in the division hates everybody. But the top two teams in the division wind up being the rivals, I guess, if that makes any sense for when they're running it. So when the Giants and the Eagles are the best two teams, they're the rivals. When it's the Eagles and the Cowboys, they're the rivals. When the rare years it's Washington and Dallas or something, it's
what's hard is when you suck, you're nobody's rival.
That's true.
And that hurts.
Except
I don't
with
think
Dallas,
that sound effect was necessary right there.
Because Dallas
When you
fans
suck.
No.
What was it? You said again?
You're nobody's rival.
Stop it, Randy. Stop it. Stop it. Bad
Isn't that
Randy.
what you said?
Bad Randy.
When you suck,
No, stop it.
you're nobody's rival, right? Isn't that
No.
what you said?
No.
That's what I heard you say.
You suck. All right. It's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1905, the Boston Bean Eaters suffered their 100th loss of the season when they dropped the first game of a Washington Park doubleheader 11-5 to the Brooklyn Superbobs, a team who had already lost 103 games. This was the first occurrence in Major League history between two teams with triple-digit losses. That sucked a lot for them too.
But when you suck, you're nobody's rival.
You're nobody's rival. And so now that's got to make you feel better, Diamondback fans, that you've only lost 88 games this
Really?
year. Now that I've said it out loud, no,
it doesn't help at all. Yeah.
No, it's
I'm
less
wearing
than 100.
black for a reason.
It's less than 100.
Mm-hmm.
Hefty Lefty says, in the AFC West, everyone hates everyone except for the Chargers. The other three teams, they're never that mad at the Chargers because the Chargers, well, they're always going to charge you. So they're the pat you on the head and send you on your way team. That used to be the Jaguars. It's the Texans a little bit right now that way. But I got nothing to say to anybody because both those teams, I mean, the Colts have lost to everyone.
The AFC West should take heed at this new Chargers administration. It's this new era of Charger football.
We thought so last year. Now it's like,
okay. All right.
It's a tough division
right.
though. So no one is going to come out of the AFC West, with this great
Guns
shiny
blazing.
record. Yeah, it's going to be brutal, and everybody's going to look kind of bad for stretches in the entire season. And it's the Chargers' turn with the whole Herbert injury.
I really hope Herbert does step up and make it real. I do. He's a lot of fun to watch, and it would be nice to see the Chargers do better. I'm just saying. What do you say we spin the wheel of sports, Randy, and see what we do next year?
I say let's do it.
This is really more of a little sort of factoid that I found. Did you know there are several colleges in the United States where you're required to pass a swimming test to graduate?
I did not know that.
Yeah, it includes 3 Ivy League schools: Cornell, Columbia, Dartmouth. Then MIT, Bryn Mawr, and Swarthmore.
Well, I could see why MIT, because they've got to make those kids actually get in the water. They've never been in the water before.
Now, them nerds, yeah, they fall into a pool or something.
Yeah. They've got to save their damn lives.
Yeah. I just thought that was weird. A swimming test to graduate. Like I'm Kuma, whatever Lottie. And then if I can't swim, I don't get my diploma.
Kuma drown Lottie.
That's some bull crap right there.
I'm trying to understand, how well do you have to swim? Is it
you just got to get from one side of the pool to the other without drowning. Yeah,
and that's a problem because the football players, they have other people take their tests. But this is a swimming test. You can't have someone else take your test.
Well, football players at Dartmouth and Cornell can't have other people take their test.
You
will get caught. They don't care about football.
My point is, those guys can swim. I'm just saying they get the smart stuff tests. Football players have other people do. Nerds can't say, "Hey, can you go swim for me?" Because they'll check IDs. All I'm saying. They're going to know if it's you in the pool or not. So I just think that's dumb. It's very
Aren't
dumb.
you a left tackle? Why are you 5'3"? That does not make any sense.
Anyway, spin the wheel, Randy.
All right.
And I get it. The Ukraine is, they're trying to say, hey, we're not going to fall to Russian rule and stuff like that. But the headline here did make me pause. Ukraine joins Spain and Portugal in a joint bid to host the 2030 FIFA World Cup. Yeah, I just feel like we don't know what's going to happen with the Ukraine, and
maybe
what sort of shape are they going to be in to host a thing when they're fighting for their lives? And listen, this is the 2030, so there's 8 years, I guess, to sort this out. But if they need to award this soon,
I wouldn't. You got a smaller country being messed with by a global superpower. Maybe let that get sorted first.
You can't have soccer's playing on, like, say, nuclearly irradiated fields. Because that could happen. and I hope it doesn't, and it's a horrible thing. I think the lives that are being lost and the homes that are being fought for, maybe for Zelensky could be more of a focus than, what we need.
Yeah. And I understand in his mind, he's thinking hope and all of this other stuff, I'm sure. But man, get out of the war your country is currently in.
Let's
first.
focus in that direction.
Look, we'll see you guys in 2036 or whatever. Just,
Yeah, Hefty Lefty says maybe spend the money on rebuilding towns and not soccer stadiums.
Because you have to. Yeah, I mean,
saying. Big George says, Dad, don't worry. Russia will probably have nuked and destroyed Ukraine by then. It won't be a problem.
Well,
I think it's kind of a problem there, George.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem. I think that if
you're
they
not
can,
thinking about the safety of the soccer players.
If they could prevent it, that would be great. And also, don't you have to pay off FIFA to get the World Cup? Where's that money coming from?
Well, there's so much corruption there, though. There's so much corruption there. Russia will probably get it, so don't worry about it. It'll be fine. All right, well, that's it for us. We have nothing left to give. Does anybody have anything else left to give?
Well, looking forward to tomorrow for an hour and a half of fun and frivolity.
Yeah. Keon, you have anything left to give?
No. Empty the tank.
I showed up with an empty tank, so yeah, that's it. We're done. Everybody have a great night. We'll be back in your radios again tomorrow at 3 p.m. starting week 5 of the NFL. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have